Okay, so it does show we're live. I had nothing for a second, but welcome to Sunday at the circus in the costume shop. There is so much we could have just called this week FFS Bride. Oh, that was for the Freeform Friday show. I suggested that name because, oh my God. So I hope everybody is well. I hope you have something to drink, something to stitch or work on, and let's just have fun and hope and have a fun end of the week, and let's not have a repeat of last week if we can help it. And welcome our guests. We have our guests, our regular. Oh no, I still can't do this. Our
I'm a
regular
light
friends
fixture.
in the chat or in the house. Chat looks. Oh, there we go. So yeah. Oh my gosh. I feel like I've like never streamed before. I'm like, why am I anxious and panicky? My heart's jitter. I'm like,
Do you know what's funny? That means that I still get like that. That means you're a real person. If you don't get like that, then you're a sociopath.
it's been a while since I've been like anxious. But so this week, should we do the mini haul or let's just wait a few minutes. Hey Kilroy, terrible headache, so don't be surprised if I'm not talkative unless this aspirin kicks in soon. No worries, honey. You've been very busy in the streams this week. I've seen, so you are a-okay. Well, hopefully none of our topics worsen your headache, because this past week's roundup of shit has. Oh yeah, I'm past my YouTube's cursey time.
You know, because I'm not on my own channel, I will never again Scouts Honor eat edibles and do a sewing stream again.
All right.
And they were like
I will
upper.
guilt you into this. So.
They were like upper edibles too. I went back and watched it. I was like, oh, I'm talking like the micro machine, man. Do you know that's one thing that I've slowed down, because in California we really talk like this, but I've slowed it down, because not everyone talks like that. Oh.
Yeah, I had to slow down when I moved from New York State, and I didn't even live in the city. But you just get this East Coast, like, and people were like,
It's so funny
"What?"
to say that. Like, I was insulted when somebody from the East Coast was like, people from the West Coast talk slow. And I was like, you're right. You're right. When you're right, you're right.
You're putting the King of Rock to shame. Oh, all right, Loki, you're sitting here nicely. All right, let's do some cuteness because you're being so patient.
Last night was going full Elvis. I will no longer. I've learned the lessons. Scout's honor. Oh, you're supposed to do it with your right hand.
Yeah, whatever.
That picture is better than my fro picture. I have when I was a kid, the Boy Scouts, we used to have to wear our uniform to school that day if we had a meeting that night.
Right.
And so I have a school picture.
Yeah.
Oh, cat butt.
Yeah, hey Loki. He's been sitting here waiting so patiently. He rolled around outside and he's like, but it's my snacky time, please. I've been waiting and laying on your table and doing all sorts of stuff. So let's see here. I was kind of super productive this week, and there's the one for once. Okay, Loki, can you go sit on the other table here? Now I actually have to show stuff, and your butt's in the way.
I've been kind of productive too, a little bit.
Yeah. So, thank you, Kat. It fortunately has not taken me 20 hours of sequencing to get 1, 2, 3. I'm on my 4.5 row, so I've got half of one and a full length. Oh, but yeah, we are sparkly. So now that we've gotten this point, I was like, I kind of need to figure out, since these are just the pant legs, start working on the actual waistband part. So I cut out black for a lining, and I decided, since everything else is so crazy to. Oh, did I cut the pieces wrong? Oh, well, whatever. To do half orange, half of the moray green for the front and the back. Let's see. Did I line this up the way I went? Oh, well, this will be. We'll have some continuity because I cut it. That we've got one leg orange and one leg green, so
Awesome.
whatever. It still works. And then, because I had some black piping left, I was like, well, let's throw some piping into the seam because for once I'm not going to French seam. I'm actually, well, part of this is going to be bag lined. No, I take that back again. I, it, yeah, there's going to be chicanery. And then I was like, well, I need something fun for attaching the legs onto the bottom piece. So let's make some green piping and try out my zipper foot. So these pants just keep getting more and more crazy, but I'm kind of here for it because I was like, why am I saving this stuff? It was super cheap. It's just taking up space. I want a fun costume. Just throw all the shit on the wall.
Oh, I
Oh
can
yeah.
tell my internet's kind of choppy.
Oh yeah. You've got the. Oh, okay.
That's awesome. So I have a patchwork question for you. If I was to
Okay.
make a patch like a hobo style patchwork jacket, would I have to make the pieces I would make a jacket? So I'd have to make like a couple yards of a sheet and then cut it in place.
That is one way to do it. For my quilted house coat, I thought it would be less unwieldy and easier for me if I cut my shapes on the lining fabric and then I'm sewing the patches
Ooh.
onto that as my backing layer or yeah, so I'm doing that or as my topper piece as one unit, and then you either need to whether you're just going to do another layer after that to do your quilting on top of it, or if you're going to add a batting layer, whatever. That's my way of tackling this project.
I like that. I like that idea. I saw these
Because I
really cool pants, but I was like, they're gonna take like 30 hours to make.
Yeah, mine's kind of been slow going, but because I thought about making a gigantic thing, but from it's and then cutting my shapes out after it's all the toppers but all been pieced, but it just felt like too much work and just too big and like unwieldy for me to manage.
That's kind of where I'm at too. That's why I've stopped on making that quilting jacket. The way she had that pattern, it was the most complicated thing I've ever seen in my entire life. I'm losing my voice.
No, you
Ah!
are. Oh no, my foil is being foiled. Why is this?
After all, can I ask you a question? What does chicanery mean?
It. I kind. Well, the. Let's see here. Let's pull up an exact definition. Where's my screenshot? Or am I gonna have to try to? Okay, there it is. Wow, just chillax, kid. We're here for the fun of it. This is the circus, not.
Oh, whoever thought you could get burnt out from streaming and sewing?
Oh no, I've heard lots of the lost streamers, law tubers, talk about like when they're doing a trial or something.
Deception by artful subterfuge, or I need to put my glasses on.
Trickery.
Or I mean,
Yes,
subterfuge,
that's.
or oh, okay.
I usually go with the trickery definition.
I just want to know what it means because I use it all the time, and where I'm from, people are gonna call you out if you introduce a new word. They're gonna be like, "What does that mean?" If you don't know what it is, they're gonna clown you.
It's trickery, funny business.
Oops. Oh, yeah. Do you know, I after
Yeah.
a 5 hour stream yesterday, I started pulling out I pulled out my Husqvarna. I went to the bad kids corner and pulled out my old sewing machines.
I started doing that. Well, so I finally was brave and looked under the hood of that other of my white 40, I was 41, 43, my electric white, and got three of the screws out, and then was like, it looks like it's a metal box that looks like it's supposed to like open up, and then the spirally bits where the finger hoosers are attached should be underneath there under their rubber grommet stuffs. And then I was like, why isn't this working? And I feel around onto the side, close to the front of the machine, are two more screws. I'm like, oh, so I jimmy rigged a ratchet to try to get in there because it's only like an inch and a half deep pocket. I'm like, a screwdriver isn't going to fit in here, and I don't have a what's the word flathead attachment for my ratchet right now. So Human helped me jimmy rig one, and I'm greatly appreciative.
That's awesome.
I
Let's
love
see
this
if
dueling sewing machine views. This is what this.
Banana, banana. I'm trying to figure out which one I want to use. This singer Brilliance has had more projects than the average person, but because it's an electronic machine, I do not necessarily trust it because it
Yeah,
poops out on me and just at the most inopportune moments.
that's
But
no
I'm really
fun.
loyal. I'm like extremely loyal to this machine because it was so good to me.
I know. That's why I feel like Brynhilda's getting jealous that the sewing machine's going good still, and I'm like not ready to. Why can't I put the
And you know what's ironic? For all the sewing machines that I've bought, my baby lock, which I got in a thrift store for $24, performs better than my Husqvarna that I paid $900. Brand new.
I have good luck with your baby lock because mine just we've talked about this. Mine just causes me to guff sometimes.
I'm just like, I do not. You know, it's so sad. I just don't trust these machines anymore, so I don't use them like I used to. But
No, I do
needless,
prefer me a good old fashioned one with a no computer in it.
that's the problem. And it's like it. One day it told me like, "Sorry, bro, I'm dying." I like almost gave it a Viking funeral. I almost like
Right,
because I was gonna huck it in the garbage because there's really nothing I can do when the electronics go out. I'm not a computer programmer.
right, or a hardware person to be able to switch out necessarily like a piece in the motherboard, like because it, yeah. But that could be a fun new endeavor of sewing machine repair.
I watched this one guy in New York, and it's so sad. Like, even though the fact that it makes me laugh because he says New York as much as I say LA, but like he has that like stereotypical New York accent.
Yeah,
But
well,
he
there's
fixes
yes.
sewing machines. He fixes sewing machines and talks trash to people in the process. What did you do to your machine?
Oh well, exactly. I've done some really dumb stuff. Not so dumb as to like forget a screwdriver, lose a screwdriver in there, but
I are
these
like
they are, and you have if something goes well, technically because it's all proprietary, you're supposed to take it back to the baby lock shop. But I I think like the brothers basically the same thing.
aren't they all in the same company? And the only reason I say that it's because okay, in America, we have in every building, every single thermostat comes from the same.
Honeywell.
Oh, the funny thing is, they all come from the same factory. If it doesn't say Honeywell, it was made in a Honeywell factory somewhere in America or China. And I feel like that with Husqvarna, Viking, and Brother and Baby Lock. The only reason I say that is because my Husqvarna cord works on my Baby Lock and like 9 of my brothers.
Right, that's how. Yeah, that's one of the tells. I think. Like, oh,
they they were all made in the same factory, I think.
but it would just be helpful in that too. Like, if Apple and Sam Android had like the same charger docks, like why?
Well, that's different because Apple hates their customers. So they brought back the USB-C, which hasn't been seen in over 20 something years.
Oh,
So now you have
shoot.
to have a USB-C cord just to use your Apple computer.
Oh, good. So far, yeah. I mean, everybody else has been using a USB-C for a while. Let's see here. Like how all phones made by Fox Foxicon. Interesting. Yeah. Oh, thought I screwed up my sewing machine. I am like panicky right now. I mean, this is supposed to be fun.
I freaking had that feeling last Monday for some reason too. But sometimes I get over analytical. Like even today, I got over analytical. But it's because of my lack of sleep and the fact I have to get up tomorrow and go. Tomorrow is the first day of school, and I got an email, and like I keep on getting all these emails, and I'm like, why does Isaiah's counselor care so much? I looked, and his new counselor, I have known since I was 7 years old.
Oh, funny.
I need to move out of my town. We were like, and the reason I've known her is because she was the other. She was literally the other person of color. We went to an all white school. So her and we've like gone to dances together. We always joke that we hung out with each other just because we thought we had to, because we were the
Oh,
only
God.
people of color. We didn't know any better. Like we're still friends, but it just makes me
That's
laugh.
it's funny. I do I over there. I gotta run across the room and get my screwdriver because I
I
kind of
did not
grabbed
know
this.
that, Kilroy. The EU has mandated USB-C and user replaceable batteries to their better. I did not. I wondered why Apple switched everything over just instantly, and I'm like, what are you doing to me? That makes sense. I am literally a step slow today. I streamed every other day. I will not do that again. Gotta drink some water. Water is important.
Okay. Okay. Let's see here. Should we? What's? Do I have anything funny on the list?
Oh, give me one quick second.
Um, oh, that one could be. Oh yeah, we do have. Not everything is completely doom and gloom. And then in a couple weeks, it'll be a 7 hour stream. I know. I was thinking about that. I was like, that's like a work shift when you're going that long. I need to have some throat lozenges. Be prepared. Okay. Decogify. Oh, yeah, you are just even gunky. No wonder you're trying to say, save me. I all the fluffiness. Dusted. I know maybe I should get one of those little compressed air cans, but they seem like I have to get a new one all the time. I don't know if I could do a 7 hour stream. I'd have to pee and eat too much, more than usual. Okay. Dog covered. Yeah. Oh, no, they're not upside down. No, they're just disoriented. Okay, don't drop on my bottom case. Oh, excitement. Oh, so okay. Oh, this is like non-stressful. So with the end of all the Star Trek stuff, I not that I watch Star Trek, but I suggested to Godless that this YouTuber wristwatch, right, wristwatch, Revival. Wristwatch Revival.
Oh, I love Wristwatch Revival.
I know, I told you. I was like, sucks. If you have no shows, watch this channel.
Well, there's only one episode of Star Trek left. It's in. You know what? I'm not going to get into the political side. It's just not what they promised this year.
You mean
And
you
the
weren't
problem,
expecting a musical?
that was okay. So I love musicals. But I watched it. I was okay with it. Keep in mind, I love Gilbert and Sullivan. Like I effing watch Newsies. I'm a grown man, and I still watch Newsies. There's Pirates of the Penzance. There's a free version with Kevin Kline and Angela Lansbury that's on YouTube. I
Ooh.
watch all the time. The Star Trek musical, when I watched it, I went to Twitter because I knew people's heads were going to explode. People were like, I quit. They're like, I'm done. I quit.
Oh, why is my brother not binding?
Not remembering that the Captain Kirk episodes were literally like on acid.
Right.
Like there's literally an episode with a Mad Hatter and a giant man who is obviously in a bunny suit. Like that, like in Kilroy is right. Someone literally went to the hospital over them. They basically put themselves in a catatonic state. They
Oh my god.
lost it over Star Trek, and they had to go to the hospital.
Oh Jesus.
People have people have lost their damn brains. People have lost, but I know this because I'm a super Trekkie. Like I'm in Facebook groups of people who travel together. Like I've gone to conventions. So
Yes.
I have
Yep.
I have my foot in the Star Trek streets, and people literally want to riot. It is the funniest thing.
I know. Not quite as well. The riot that Kai Cenat started over giving away a PlayStation
I tried
on
to talk about
Friday.
this. I tried to talk about this last night, but like Mark Short. Do you know they showed it in Australia? The story made it all the way to Australia. Their news.
Well, isn't he one of like Twitch's? He's high up on the Twitch, and he's got a Rumble contract now too with what's his face? Some other kid, but
The only reason I even know who this guy is because of Black Twitter, and he got punked by this woman named Christine Rock,
oh gosh,
and she was drinking Hennessy in his house, and she's like aggressive, and he didn't know what to do because she's my size,
oh
she's
gosh.
5'9", and she was
Mm-hmm.
just aggressively hitting him. Do you know the thing is though? I've gone to concerts with 10,000 kids, and we never rioted when I was a kid. I've gone places, festivals with hundreds of thousands of fellow. I went to Ozfest with everybody was my age. Everybody was 15, 16.
Yeah,
We never
usually
rioted.
back in the day, that only happened at like football matches. I mean, soccer.
True. And like, hey, Alibaba.
Hey,
It's just really but see that goes back to my issues. I have hardcore issues with the NYPD.
oh yeah,
Oh, excuse me.
yes. And then charging him with 2 ways till Tuesday, and like one of it including like in or not having the proper permits for a gathering that large. Like,
But
I
isn't
fully
it
expect
weird?
that.
Isn't it weird how New York has become a no tolerance state? Like
Oh,
they would slap him on the wrist here. If he gets a charge, I will be so shocked.
oh, he got a whole bunch. He's gotten at least 4 charges.
Oh, but are
Oh
they?
yeah,
Did they?
yep. He's
He's
been
got
in
a
charge. I
court
don't
date.
have all of the counts. One of them was not having a permit. One of them was inciting a riot. There was a couple others. I think at least one more that I heard come down on Friday night.
It is illegal. It is still illegal in the United States of America to incite a riot. Good to know.
Yeah, there are plenty of concert riots. They just only make the news in the area that they were in. Yeah, if they're not like
No, I
not
have
at least 10 people died.
I have this weird thing about the rapper E40. I've only gone to one rap show, so it's not like I go to rap shows. But every town that I have ever lived in that he's had a concert, multiple people. There's always a mass hooting at his concerts. So I'm like, I am never gonna go to his concert ever.
Yeah,
But they
not
never
interested
talk
in
about
that.
it. They never talk about the correlation of like this rap concert, and there's always like massive hootings after.
Yeah, that's silly, silly, silly.
And I
But
like the
oh,
guy.
since Ellie's here, should we touch on our Canadian topic? I've got
Yes.
at least one. Oh, poor Trudeau and Sophia getting a divorce.
Did you
Yep.
see that picture of Justin Trudeau going to go see Barbie? I saw it this
With
morning on
his
Twitter.
son, yeah. And there's the pictures going, or the little video clip of him in the at the farm or whatever with his wife, and this like awkward kiss, and she's like, "Don't touch me." Here's her facial expressions. It's like, I don't want to be doing this with you right now.
Do you know
Oh,
what's funny, Gilroy? Little John has professional security guards, and he puts on a real show. He
yeah.
has like a real team.
I know rap got in by gangster rap, and yeah, I know poor little Trudeau.
I thought of you, Alibaba, when I saw Trudeau this morning. I was like, I wonder how Alibaba's doing.
And I didn't hear about this thing called Moving Day, where you can just tote around Quebec and Montreal and just like get free shit because most of the leases are up in on the 1st of July. That's so fascinating. Oh, you miss a Tribe Called Quest style Kilroy. Yeah.
Hold on. So you can just like move into someone's. You could just take over someone's lease.
No, no. Well, I guess if they've got a 1 year lease, but no, you can't just like start squatting somewhere.
Could I
I think
go and buy up a bunch of property on moving day? Could I like go in there and like buy every person who's
I don't know. I'm not the resident Canadian for
I'm a
real.
I'm a I'm
Moving
a
day is a thing. I know. I just learned of this fascinating holiday of Pickers Peak. Like I love walking. That would sound so fun. Just looking at free shit.
no curbside pickup for free stuff. Oh, it's curbside. You know, we do that. We have that, but we have roaming pickers around here. Literally, people who roam and pick stuff off the streets.
Yeah, but this is right. We do that. I mean, I've been known to stop by for a nice piece of furniture or something like.
If you go through my old videos, there's a blue chair that I'm constantly sitting on. I picked that off the street. And then there was this guy, it's like an old restaurant vinyl blue chair. I put it in my car and I'm driving off and the guy was like, "Thank you so much." Thanks for
I
taking my
saw
trash.
right? All sorts of stuff to pick up for free. I know Shannon Meeks did a video. I was like, I'd
Could
never
I
heard
like
about this holiday.
could I get my sewing and son truck and go and pick up stuff? Or is that like legal?
Probably. She found a box of like Singer cams
Oh,
just that were gonna get thrown out. She's like, I don't even think I have the machine to make these work, but I'm gonna rescue them anyway. I was like, you go. An antique walnut table, 2 leaves, and 4 chairs. That, oh, you're speaking my love language.
that's crazy. That's crazy. See, I would go nuts. I would get up early on moving day.
Right?
Oh, that
So,
reminds me. I have to get up and deal with soccer moms tomorrow. I'm already crying in my car in my head. I'm already crying in my car. I need to get up early so I'm not sniping at my kid.
right, gotta be nice.
I got
Kilroy,
tons of coffee.
I pulled a caution radiation area sign with the nuclear symbol on it out of the trash at a place you worked. That is amazing. Allie took their pickup, and people would flag me down to help them in pantry.
That's so Canadian.
And they did the lifting. That is spectacular.
You know, in America, you wouldn't like. No, I help. We're helpful. I still pull over to help people when their car's broken down. Like we're not as angry in America as people think we are. We're just caffeinated.
Right. It also kind of depends on where you are, because
You know what's
Andy
really
had
funny?
like it's yeah, you were like fully stocked to make some extra cash on moving day.
I have Isaiah. Ever since I found that I need to bring that machine back out. Ever since I found that sewing machine on the street, I have Isaiah like when I'm driving. I'm like, keep your eyes out for if you see a case. It was, as someone who collects sewing machines, I felt like if there's a way, if you ever want to kidnap me, put like a free
Free
Juki sign
sewing
with an
machines,
arrow.
right?
Yeah.
Like free tacos and sewing machines
Just put an
sold.
arrow pointing over here. You'll easily kidnap me. Free Juki.
Oh, that's funny. Oh, that was kind of funny too. That clip I saw on Twitter of Mia Khalifa trying to give marriage advice.
Mia Khalifa, is she the ex corn star or what?
Yes. She is the
Okay.
hijabi princess.
So it is well known that where I'm from, if you are rich and semi good looking, she will go out with you.
Well, I think I was kind of thinking about this, and I'm like, folks who work in that industry are either the worst people to take marriage advice from or the best people, because I figured they either have like really great relationships or just terrible, depending
Yeah,
on why
but
they got into the line of work.
okay.
Yes,
I
we'll get to the Liz and the banana too. Don't you worry,
Oh, Kilroy, I
Kilroy.
have notes. I have notes. Oh, what were we just talking
Okay,
about? What were
no.
we just talking about? Because I already forgot. What were we just talking
Oh,
about?
Mia Khalifa, corn stars,
Okay.
and giving marriage advice.
So I actually have a friend who is a famous porn star. Like she's up there. Like and it
Yeah.
makes me laugh. Like um there's only one person I know that has a successful relationship because the man that she is married to is extremely secure. I don't know if the average human could handle their significant other not just doing it, but like, you know.
Right, like having it not just be a one-off, but like,
Yeah.
this is my this is how I pay my contribute to the mortgage.
So the average person, and I'll tell you, like, my that particular person, she may or may like we hung out a lot. I never looked at her as my girlfriend. She was like my best friend. I could
Mm-hmm.
never I could never date a porn star. Let's just put it that way. But
And that's okay. It's good to know.
I went to
I
the
mean it for yourself,
AVN.
not that I'm.
I went to the AVNs in 2000. I can't like it was either 13 or 14 and I had the greatest week of my life. That was the
Yeah,
greatest week of my entire life. So they're fun, but I am not built for that.
right.
But you know who's built for
Yes.
that is Lizzo. Lizzo's built for
Oh,
that life. In
I never.
Amsterdam, I watched a few specials, Phoenix, about this, and she was in Amsterdam forcing her dancers to do things with. Okay, so let me ask you a question. And they were on their off time. This is why they felt like they were kidnapped because she kind of made them feel obligated, but she didn't say I'm kidnapping you. You know what I'm saying?
Right. No, it's like if you want to get up with the boss, at sometimes like if you hang out, then you get special perks or are privy to certain information things. But I heard readings of the full lawsuit, so I'm gonna go with Emily D. Baker's. They're all lost or civil lawsuits are all allegations and shade. So it was quite interesting. Her being called
So
out for fat shaming her dancers, though, that was pretty funny too.
people lost their brains when they heard that. When they heard that Lizzo was fat shaming people, that
She's like, I'm the
honestly,
only one who gets to be that fat on stage.
there was somebody like I'm subscribed to a lot of people. There was one person that I unsubscribed because they've made 6 or 7 Lizzo videos since it's happened, and it's only been a couple days.
Oh, right. This is just getting started. It was funny that that club in Amsterdam, like, that's what seems to be what they're known for, because their name has got, like, bananas in it or something. So, like, that's what they do.
I say this with love. I say this with love. Like, if you go certain places, okay, as Americans too, a lot of people don't realize this. The Europeans are intense. Like, they'll get in
Yes.
your face, they'll touch you, they'll like, it's a different way of life. They have unisex bathrooms. You would never have that in America, you know? It's so I don't know. Lizzo, I'm trying to be nice. I'm trying to be nice with the things that I'm saying because I've heard so
It's
much
hard
stuff
because
about
I've
it
heard a
lately.
lot of stuff and, like, other people. Right. And it makes sense that we're not going to we should not hear her side of this. Actually, the people who are accusing her probably shouldn't have gone and done public interviews yet either with their representation. Like, let it, like, start to take its course. Oh, you don't, oh, Ellie doesn't even know what you are referencing. So there's this singer Lizzo, who probably should have just stayed a classical flautist, but instead has become a pop star, singer, dancer, who's quite a voluptuous human and takes pride in it. And if that's what they want, that's great. How they can be vegan and exercise train that much for her
She's
energy for her
vegan.
stage, like how is she like mainlining food in between shows? Like, how do you eat that much and exercise that much to, like, that's a second
Well,
full time job.
you have to burn the energy too. I knew somebody who was my sister's ex-husband. We used to play for the Raiders. He was 6'7". He ate an unreal amount of food. He would drink
Right.
when he would drink alcohol. He would literally drink a full bottle because it took him more to get there than the average human because he was humongous.
Right.
I'm trying to be nice. Oh man, I just lost all my coins. I'm trying to be nice about Lizzo, but like, so this guy that I follow, I follow this young man in Chicago. He's a young man. He's like a year older than I am, but he is so eloquent for somebody who comes from one of the most dangerous places on earth. He is so well spoken, and in the African American circles that I travel, people are losing their brains because they were getting shamed for saying like, "Oh, I don't like her," and people were like, "Oh, you don't like her because of this and this." They're like, "We just don't like her," and now they're like, "No, she's a bad person," and now they have ammo.
Oh, so we're just gonna, wow, that's quite the segue. Oh man.
Oh, exactly. Andre the Giant would drink 100. Exactly, exactly.
Yeah, he
I
was.
watched my brother-in-law drink a bottle of Malibu and still be able to speak to somebody. If I did that, I would be in the hospital.
Yeah. You did that at your friend's bar in Montreal near the old forum. Oh my goodness. Yeah, get Killer also. She does appear to be.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah, I I dislike her personality. And yeah, see you next Tuesday. I could not going to completely disagree with that. But
I
we're
talked
not.
about
Okay,
this.
no medical, legal, educational, financial. If you think you should consult a professional, do that. If
You
you learn
know,
something, I'm sorry.
lately I've been forgetting my disclaimer too. When you're not there, I completely forget my disclaimer. And I've been saying it like an hour in. Last night I said it like an hour and a half in.
Right, we hadn't started to get spicy, but I no, we're not diagnosing her, but her personality leaves a little bit to be just. I don't know. I just don't care for her music anyway, so I don't want it to seem like I'm like just bashing
Okay,
on her to
so
bash. 'Cause
that's one of my main beefs too. Okay, a lot of these kids, like someone will say something like, "Oh, this and this rapper." Okay, I know this is gonna be controversial. I've never heard a Taylor Swift song. I've never
yes, you
heard a
have. You
list.
just don't know.
I just don't. It's not my thing. I don't. I had to look up what song Lizzo was famous for, and I'm like, oh, okay, I've heard that song a good jillion times. Because you
Right.
walk past the gym, it's playing, or they're playing at the thrift store or something.
Yes.
But I'm a little bit older, so I'm stuck in my ways. Like this whole genre of music is beyond me. You know. Oh, no
Yeah.
worries, Alibaba. I've been sewing my face off. I'm gonna start sewing every Monday and Wednesday, so I'll be
I
around.
missed yesterday too. I just sometimes I've been watching Glitch.
Oh, speaking of
Yeah.
which, I
Why
gotta
is
let.
this machine glitching? I'm trying to turn these the right way.
So, I want to be a famous Twitch streamer where 10,000 people show up. I'll give them something though. I could give at least 50 people crummy sewing machines.
Yeah.
You want a Kenmore? You want a 1992 Kenmore kit? I got one for you right here. I'll teach you how to make it work. It's missing pieces. So that whole thing in New York just tripped me out because I don't want to be that adult that says like all the kids are out of control. We are the ones that taught them, okay? But those kids were out of control.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm biased, but that would not happen where I live. First off, the cops are aggressive, so we are, as parents, we would not let our children go around the cops like that.
Okay, what did I do? How did my needle bar move? This is fun.
They've been saying kids were out of control since Plato's time. I agree with you. I agree. But you know what, though, Kilroy? Like, I was a real life juvenile delinquent who really never grew out of it. And I still say please and thank you. And like, we didn't mess with older people. I watched this video of these kids robbing a man's cart. That's his livelihood.
Oh, that was on my list too. The Sick'em Seek.
I was gonna that man. They're so lucky I wasn't there. I would have gone viral for fighting everybody. I was an out of control kid, but no one knew.
What the hell just happened here?
I
My
was.
machine's not.
I just didn't listen to my like. I see, but the thing is, my parents were no joke, so I just wouldn't listen to them to their behind their back. They would say something, I say yes, ma'am, yes, sir, and then just go do whatever I wanted to. Different times,
Yeah.
but I don't want. I don't know. Where is that line of like unlawful assembly? It's everyone's gonna complain when the world turns into San Francisco and you got to ask the clerk to get your pack of razors and your shaving cream.
Right.
That's one way to
Yeah.
respond to a thief. Smack them in the shins with a stick.
Right. I know. Like, because it's so hard. These small business people, like, they can't financially eat that kind of loss like the big chain stores can.
That drives me so mentally insane that to the point where one of my local donut shop and pizza place that's been there since both of them have been there since I was a little kid. Someone broke the windows. I went to my job and gave them plywood for free because I know how expensive plywood is.
Right.
I was like, this is as much as I got. You guys can cover your windows. Like, it bothers me when people mess with small businesses. It just bothers me because I know they didn't have the money to. Wood is so expensive. It is unreal how expensive wood is. And that's what these people don't realize when they destroy a business is that they're going to have to eat every cent of it. That's whooping your ass. Well, they looked the other way or I thought it was cool. I didn't hear. I was a kid so often. I couldn't believe that people are defending a thief. This is why I don't watch the news. I'm gonna need therapy after. Phoenix, have you seen what San Francisco is doing?
Yeah. I. Oh yeah. Yeah.
They
Oh.
are
know?
putting all of their food, everything behind cases. So if you basically now the entire store is behind glass.
Right. I know, like the frozen food section has got a padlock on it. Yes, I agree, Killer. It will turn into a walk-in vending machines. Pay first per item. Oh, I saw that from the 1950s Germany's on the Autobahn. It went into tone of the last one system works though. That is one way, but is that another way for them to get us to like? We're not going to have cash money. It's like you're going to look into the thing and you're going to pay, or you're
That,
going to tap your hand, or
have
it's
you
going to
seen
have
that
that like
video?
screening on the outside of the store that it's like, oh, your social credit score is not high enough. You can't even enter this establishment.
Have you seen that video on Twitter?
Yeah, the lady tapping with her hand, terrified.
Do you know? Do you know what I started singing when I saw that? It's the
No.
end of the world as we know it.
Yeah.
You literally, I'm gonna be the poster boy. They're gonna be like, this guy fought so hard. We're not gonna put a chip in him. Try it. Try it.
Yeah, I'm not here for that.
But okay, I have so many questions about that video. Is that real?
It appeared so.
No, people can't even handle social communities online. Imagine having a social credit score by your emotions and feelings. No,
Yeah,
that's
no.
why cops.
Or you're
That's why.
you're or
Oh,
not
sorry.
either that or your right think, wrong think. Like, ooh, I don't. Your
Yes,
beliefs don't align with the masses. You are downgraded.
it's scary, scary times. Because I saw it yesterday, okay, and I was like, it's not real. Now everybody's sharing it, and I'm like, and then and now all those weirdo Illuminati people are like, see, I told you, I told you. The problem with technology, as someone who's a son of an engineer, some of it is overambitious, and a lot of it gets passed by. Do you know how many versions of the CD player we've had? How many, you
Blu-ray
know,
didn't last forever. Or
Blu-ray? Thank you. I have one in.
VHS.
Do you know what's so funny? In this room right now, I have a Blu-ray player with the door is stuck. So the Halo movie, it's an off-market Halo movie is stuck in there, and I've literally watched it 100 times because it's stuck in the Blu-ray.
This is your only choice
I just
option.
want to watch Enterprise on my Blu-ray, and I'm so mad I probably won't buy another Blu-ray.
Yeah.
And then I saw how much they cost for computers, like just the small Blu-ray disc, and I'm like, it's not worth it.
Okay, killer. Right, let's see here. And people think all businessmen are insured and can just eat it when a lot of them aren't insured, or we got to come up with a deductible and pay higher premiums. Yes. Let's see here. I don't. Oh, killer or Ellie says yes. I think that's a pot where this is headed. I don't think it's real. The RFID thing in the credit debit cards actively communicates with the terminal. The ones you can put in a person are completely passive. Oh, right, because you just like walk right past it. Or let me think about that for a second while I put my machine back together. People couldn't see my abject terror when I thought I'd broken it. Something was just off in the timing. I have to put these screws back on. You had an Amini disc. I don't. That's what I don't know. Okay.
I just remembered that I made a tunic yesterday. Oh, I'm gonna sit down. I've been doing so much sewing. I'm like actual godless sewing, the sewer.
Yeah, I've mostly just been working on these giant projects, but I think we're getting closer.
Sweden
Let's
has RDIF chips in people in
RFID.
mass. I've seen that. I've seen that. I'm okay. So Americans, you're gonna have to pin us down and shoot it. You're
Some of
gonna
them.
look at.
I think it depends. There's half of them are gonna just line up, line their kids up, think it's the greatest thing since. Oh, a mini disc. Now I get.
It's gonna be me and
Oh,
all the crazy guys in Montana with rifles. I'm gonna start my own.
right. Yep, Eastern Oregon, the Greater Idaho movement.
I know a lot of
Look,
people in Idaho and Oregon. I'll move. I will move.
if you didn't get nuked last night, you would have remembered.
It's because like I did so much. I made a tunic, I lined a coat, I lined my vest, like, and it took hours to all the prep is what burnt me out before the stream.
Right, I know all the cutting and pressing and marking and pinning.
And then I made the thumbnail at 2 in the morning, and it dawned on me, bro, you haven't even cut out the pattern. So at 2 something in the like 3 in the morning, I'm cutting out a pattern in my living room, and I'm like, I hate this. I forgot how much I hate cutting patterns.
Yeah. Oh, you're a pattern cutter? It's like that's another thing that's like people are of two camps of pattern cutters versus pattern tracers.
Oh, I cut
I
it out and I use that and I make my own mock-up. I am so weirdly thorough. It's just awful. And now that I know that it's really like I made the double X because I'm 210 pounds. It's deceptive because I'm odd-bodied. I'm skinny. I have long parts. But like I have to do the XL now. So I did the triple XL and it's huge. So I'm a large or a 1X.
oh man, I can't wait to get back to my fighting weight. Let's see here, Killeray. You also have to think that our government still primarily uses mail for official communications. It won't be sophisticated or technological enough for chips in our lifetime.
True.
Allie's learning to make patterns. I pref- I've gotten a lot of mileage out of some of my mood print and tape patterns. I I do cut them down a little bit, but I don't know. I got into this pattern tracing rather than pattern cutting, just in case you need to make adjustments. You can go back to the original and trace if because that
Let me
might
see if I can
save
find
some.
my old vest pattern in here. It's a
You got
mess.
oh, that's true. You do have this McDowell pattern drafting kit. Yeah, so I kind of am attempting to sort of have some blocks so I can just go from there. Oh, did I say? Actually, the top of my pantaloony things is the apricot pattern for Mood, which had a horrible problem with it because the back was like 6 inches taller in the waist than the front was, so that needed some fine tuning. But
Trying to find
it's
my own vest. I had these. I used cardboard for a while for my vests because
right. If
I'm
you're
a
gonna do something enough times, you might as well make it
absolutely.
sturdy.
And plus, like a vest that I would wear like on stream is different than a riding vest. A riding vest is huge because you have to wear a jacket over it.
Mm-hmm.
So the template I have for my riding vest, it's huge. Now I'm really curious of what I did with that thing. Well, I'm just gonna go back to playing Sonic the
The
Hedgehog.
next selling gadget, a Xerox machine with a 10 by 10 foot scanner for copying all your pamphlet patterns.
Ooh, do you know I want one of those so bad? I was once again not sleeping and watching Knit Kittenish Behavior,
Kittenish, yeah.
and she has one. She amazes me because while live streaming, she'll literally make a pattern and then make the item. I pregame. I don't want people to see me cutting
Dapping
myself
it
and
out.
cursing it, crying at my pins.
Yeah, I did pre-prepare, but I don't. She also has enough space and knows how to move her cameras so that she's always engaged.
I wanna know what does she have like a microphone hanging from the ceiling? I want whatever she has, I want it. Like,
It might
and
be
you know
just
what's
a
funny?
low lav mic, a wireless
I'm
like Rhode Go.
I'm sitting in a room of like microphones and stuff, so it's feasible. I want to know. Last night I was sitting there. I'm like, how can she walk around and I can still hear her in every corner?
Yeah, Rode, there some. Oh, don't lose that screw. Some of the companies sell wireless lav mics, and that's probably what she. That would be my guess.
It's you could hear her perfectly in everywhere she goes. Every lavalier mic I've ever had has been drama. The first one I had Audio Technica. It was the greatest thing on earth, and it died on me. And it died literally where it made a pooping noise when it died. It went
Oh
brr.
no!
It was so I'm still mad about it. It was the greatest microphone. And it sent me on this microphone quest. I have so many failed mics in this room. That's when
Yeah,
people say like, "Oh, Rode is the best" or this and that. I'm like, I beg to differ, sir or ma'am.
I've had good luck with mine, but I also didn't get like, I don't know, got
Not all
middle.
mics are like AM talk radio where you have to get right on top of them. I wonder about that too. There are mics, and I have my phone in front of me, and I'm like struggling to read.
Put your
there,
glasses
there
on.
are mics and digital processors that you can put them 20 feet away and hear the person perfectly, not hand hang. That's crazy. Do you know, because I have like kind of an engineer eye, I'm like, how do they do that? Because I'm sitting in a room of technology, so I'm always like, I can do that. I can do that. Says the guy playing Sonic Hedgehog on a mini screen.
Yep, hang them for later. Oh, patterns. Yes. I keep mine in big, giant laboratory bags because I just happen to have a surplus of them. But yeah, what do people do with their patterns afterwards? Like storing them is such a nightmare for me.
Are you talking about the physical, like the actual physical pattern?
Yeah.
The So right now I have all the ones that I use lined up in a row. Let me see. Well,
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to move my camera and
You
expose
don't have
myself
to.
too much. No, because if I move it up, I'll show my mountain of fabric, and that's actually kind of embarrassing.
Oh, that's right.
It-
I forgot my mini shawl.
and we need some secrets in life.
Here, I'll show off fabric instead. Because I went to the Goodwill on Friday, and
Ooh, I love fabric hauls.
yeah, I got this. It is woven like a linen, but I'm guessing it must be cotton something because I washed everything. I washed as soon as it came home, and it's got no wrinkles in it. So I'm here for that also. This periwinkle color. This one reminded me of like French 17th century with that like blue and white. It's got like a pastoral scene. You've got some little folks picking apples with their apple cart
Awesome.
and snowflakes. These last two are flannel. There's like a yard and a half of this one, and like a little over a yard for the other two. What am I gonna do? I don't know. But the best part, I think the purple one was like 5 1/4, and the other two were marked like 5 something and 4 something, and they happened to be 50% off. So I was like, okay, twist my arm.
That is my middle name is 50% off.
I know. Two. Yep, shotgun mics. The ones that look like that are tubular, highly directional, and you don't have to have your mouth right in front of them. Yeah,
I
that's
have
the kind of like.
You know what? I'm not gonna do it. One day I will pull out all my microphone collection so you guys can laugh at me. Let's just say I have almost as many microphones as sewing machines.
Well, mics are littler. Are you sure you don't have more mics than sewing machines and you just don't know it?
Probably. Probably. I found. You know what's really funny? I was cleaning. I'll show you what I found.
Let's see here. see you playing with the security cam. We're just shredding. We're having quite the day. I was like anxious before I started, and now my machine. We're just having one of those days.
I've been cleaning and I found this.
Ooh, another microphone.
It is a wireless microphone system. But I already have one. I already have one hooked up over here on this thing. But I have a bunch of really fancy wireless microphones, and I have to tell myself like, don't pull this out and play with it because, like, you may need it in a professional setting one day.
Well, you also have to take it out to play with it so you know how to use it when called upon on such situations.
I do, but I had to take the batteries out when I first inherited all this stuff. Isaiah and I plugged everything in.
Well, taking the
we
batteries out is just good practice with battery operated stuff, though.
we went crazy. So I know how most of this works. We plugged in everything. Oh, what's this? Let's plug it in. Let's see what happens. So I'm not
No,
over
that was
it.
my machine going clunk, clunk, clunk a little while ago. Yeah, somehow I threw off the timing. I had to take the faceplate off and touch stuff. Yeah, nope, that was my machine when I was fighting because the needle bar was like, and we're going to take a break for a while and make you reset us. That was fun times.
Literally, that should be a tattoo, Kilroy. I inherited a bunch of stuff and my electricity bill quadrupled. That's so real. That is so real. Like, son of an engineer. These lights, let's see if they're on. Oh no, they're not on. Cool. Those lights were built. I built those lights up there. Um a lot. Like
Yeah,
I'm
that wasn't
I'm
bad needle bar. I do not recommend the bad needle bar. Only
I'm
go to the nice
hanging drop
one.
lights. It's a mess in here. Bad needle bar. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that again. I'm physically burnt out. I think I'm gonna stick to I don't think I'm gonna pick up a Saturday stream again.
Right, because then to go Saturday, Sunday, Monday's a lot.
I went Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday, and I stream every Sunday with you. So I like
Right.
when I woke up this morning, I was like, "Why did you do that?" But I had fun last night. I really did, and I did go Elvis because at 4 hours, I talked for a full hour with my stop cam on. I was like, "Okay, I'm done," and I talked for a full hour after that. And everybody talked me out of showing Elvis. I was gonna show Elvis, but like that's how you get your channel nuked.
Yeah.
How come I can watch that crap all day long on YouTube, but the second I want to show it during a live stream, it's gonna get my channel nuked?
Oh, copyright and copyright owners.
I call it plots, and counter plots.
Yeah, it would just be nice if YouTube was like clear with their policies.
Especially
True.
for someone like me, I'm a walking, talking museum. I just want to share my art. That's all I want to do. I want people to see a 1979 Jiffy Lube commercial.
Right.
Because excuse me, that era will never come back. And one of the reasons we have nostalgia for it is because it seemed to be better than now, you know.
Right.
And people always say, "Oh, things were more simple." They weren't. It's just we just weren't up in each other's face like we are now.
Right. We didn't have the internet.
The LEDs don't last as long. You should replace them with LEDs. So, okay, I'm going to tell you another real reason why I have old school bulbs in there is because I have a box of 600 bulbs I haven't ran out of yet.
I know. Stock up on your incandescents. Well, you still can. Let's see. You think there's up on the top of the feed dog bar or on the feed dog system? Let me take it apart again. I did defluff it already once today, but maybe I missed something somewhere.
I'm thinking of Midas. I might be thinking of Midas. I don't know if Jiffy Lube was around, but I'm thinking of a Midas commercial as my microphone is syncing. I'm actually thinking of the Midas commercial, I think. Trust the Midas touch.
Touch.
That's the one that almost got my channel nuked. Where they were like, "Are you insane?" And I'm like, "Who owns this?" That's when I write crazy stuff. I do write crazy responses to YouTube, where I call YouTube bro. I'm like, "Bro, who owns this?" I called my mom bro today. I called my ex-wife bro yesterday. I'm going through some stuff.
Right, you're going through the bro phase.
You can buy incandescents all day. Not here. Not on the West Coast.
Not
It's those
anymore. They just
they
Biden made them illegal.
literally. My box of 600 came from my job though. I've had that thing for years and years and years. They don't, the label is so old. It's like they don't even make it like that anymore.
I know. What are the kids gonna do with all the old Betty Crocker Easy Bake ovens? I don't know. Don't know.
Oh man.
We're gonna have to get black market incandescent bulbs. That was not on my zombie apocalypse stock up list.
Well, you live close. I got 600.
We've
And
got enough gas to cut through.
to give you an idea, like I was like, oh man, I want to run through these 600. I still have like 570 of them. What about the heat lamps? Do you know what this could be considered a heat lamp above my head? Let's see if you can see it. It's hot. That's what gives me the Godless Sewing effect of like I'm way darker than what you actually think I am.
You know
That
what? If
light
I know all
actually.
the names for the chicks and um the lizard people or people who like lizards, hepatologists. I know all the research labs. Yeah, I
Oh
don't know.
man. Oh man. I gotta cover my drop light. Shut down Vegas buffets with the bulb ban. Well, that's a different state. They're not like crazy like we are in the West Coast. Like they're West Coast, but they're not like ocean adjacent like we are.
Yeah, no, but this came down from Biden. This is a federal ban. This is not even a West Coast thing.
Oh,
This
ha
is
ha ha! Then they're all gonna live like us. Because you know Californians have been living like that for years. You can't just go to Walmart and buy an old school bulb at all.
yeah,
An
I don't
example of
need all this
stupid.
oversight. I can
An
think for
exa-
myself.
that bothers me. That goes back to when they told me I'm gonna have to switch out all my cars and everything, and I'm like, okay, can you give me 2 mil to switch everything over?
I don't need reparations. I need you to just stop just making stupid legislation.
Like, because that's how much it's gonna cost to replace every car, every like, and that's just personal. That's just personal stuff, not even the work stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
Oh, there's that
Oh
screw.
no! If California gives me $5 million in reparations, I'll have the goodbye live stream, and then I'm officially gonna go move to the beach and never wear shoes again. And I'm gonna wear floppy
Seems
hats.
reasonable. I
If you
know
give me,
that is an example of stupid as stupid does.
if you give me 5 million, I will do what my ancestors wanted me to do and smoke joints on the beach.
What is-
No, I'm not gonna line
Okay.
my tunic. I'm not gonna line my tunic right now. I might do that tomorrow on stream. I'm like talking myself out of it. I'm burnt out. I've
Do you,
done so
well,
much.
that's true. Right, you need something for tomorrow.
And whoops, wrong button. I'm like clicking all over the place. And I gotta slow down. Like in the past, I've finished over 11 projects last week.
Oh my goodness.
That's what I said, And last night while I was like live streaming, I said it out loud. I was like, "Do you know I never get anything done this fast because I'm in the garage watching movies, commenting on live streams, talking trash, like going in my kitchen, sitting on the counter, totally BSing, you know." But when I'm doing a live stream, I'm concentrating on it, and I got so much done. Yeah, Alibaba, it's insane how many different projects. Like even I got all my sewing done on all my vests and everything. I've been busy. I have. It's insane how much I've got done.
It takes me to that. I don't think I'm not in a place where I could have that much output, but I'm trying to be a monogamous sewer,
Oh.
and I've got too many big projects.
I now have to go buy more fabric. I still have a ton, but I have to go buy more to replenish my mountain. So that's just my
If you
excuse. That's
still
just
have
my.
a mountain, then you don't really need more yet.
I'm trying to. It's the Roman Catholic in me where I allow you to guilt me, but it's true. I
Well,
I still
I was just glad that I'm glad I'm on a low buy and not a no buy.
I need to be on a no buy because I still have more than the average human. And there's a mirror. Like when I turn the corner, there's a mirror like directly behind me. Well, in front of me. And behind that mirror is a whole cabinet of scraps of just fabric.
Oh, right. So this is why we were talking about the hobo coat. Because you're going to use up your scraps. You're going to do a scrap buster challenge.
I do because I have so many scraps. I'm putting them in plastic bags and hanging them now. I'm
You
like,
should
look.
on the closet core poof. You can use your scraps to make a round poof to put your scraps in. It Mine is like 3 feet diameter by like
Okay.
12, 18 inches tall, super easy to work up with a top and a bottom. Do
Okay.
that, and then you've got at least a cute piece of furniture and it holds a surprising amount of stuff.
I like that. I've already like I have so many scraps. I need to do something with it. I literally have a toolbox that's meant to be on the back of a car filled with scraps.
Oh my
Um,
goodness. Oh,
yeah, it's
yeah.
fun. And yarn too. I don't know why I collected so much yarn over the years, but I have gone yarn crazy, and I use it for San Cisco and stuff, which you're not even supposed to, but I
Yeah.
do.
You can use whatever you want for whatever you want.
That's true. San Cisco string is just too thin for my liking. I
So
like
you make it your way.
exactly. I like the bold statement of like bright colors or just thicker string.
Yeah.
That reminds me. Okay, so I recently saw a rapper wearing a hoodie that like it was the hoodie I think was the main piece, but it kind of the rest of it just was kind of hung, and
Hmm.
I'm gonna try to find it for you, but like
Did you
I'm gonna
see
make it.
the fashion show that the people had like the shark heads?
No.
Do you get yarn with machines and knitting needles? I do. I am. That sounds like a good haul. Though I have quite the knitting needle collection. Oh my god! Speaking of needles, I should have got it just to have a second set. There was a Denise interchangeable knitting book at the Goodwill the other day for like $6 or something. I paid 60 for mine. I should have bought it. Flossing, tatting shuttles. Yup. I love the bonus things that come with machines sometimes. Because I use all those things. Though tatting, it's been a while since I've practiced that. I got my needle, or my shuttles, or the big needles for the needle tatting. As if I need more reasons to make lace, because I love me some lace. Even better when I've made it.
I want to know how that kid got famous off of Twitch. Does he actually play video games?
Oh, Kai Cenat?
The guy who had the riot the other day.
Oh, yes. And then I heard that there was another one who got in a riot. What is it? Hassan Picky Hassan Piker Hassan. That
You know, I don't know who any of these people are. I just stand there in amazement that they make. You should have got a book, Matthew. Should have got that book. It just amazes
I
me how
know.
much money they make. That's all. It just, or the fame they have achieved just by playing video games. You know, I'm old, but I'm like, oh, that's crazy.
Right. I know. I'll go $70 a book. I think. Yeah, that's about what I paid for mine because I have one. That's the only reason I was like, do I actually need two of them? 'Cause I did buy mine new. I'll go back and look tomorrow.
Ah,
It's weird. No. What?
I want to get paid to play video games. Is what I'm trying to stammer out.
I just like to get paid to sew for myself.
That too. Are you kidding me? You can give me miles of fabric. I will sit here all day. I'll lose my voice. I'll go
Hey,
full Elvis.
why are we not catching our stitches? Am I gonna have to sew sequins because I'm frustrated and something's not working right?
Let me see if I can move this for anyone wondering. This is a monitor that's older than my son, I think. It's from that era. This is from that era where people were putting monitors in their cars.
Oh, weird.
Do you remember that? In the back of their headrest or whatever?
Oh, for kids, screens. Yeah, that's so dangerous.
I have quite a few. And Gao said you can apply to test games. I was thinking about doing that with fabric. Like, can I be the fabric tester?
Oh, yeah, I would. I did a couple of pattern testings on
Oh, that would
Rebel
be
before.
so awesome. I would
I
love to
know
be.
that I'd actually applied for Scroop's latest pattern, but I didn't get accepted to test their new corset, and I'm too cheap to buy it. So
I really don't even play video games anymore because I have to be a grown man. But I would love to have a Twitch channel and play my retro games because I have a 64. I have a bunch of retro stuff though. That's the problem, and it doesn't. I can't translate it over to the other side. And then when I go places, no one knows what I'm talking about because my technology is so old. They don't realize that. Like,
Great Sega was a thing. Maybe not threaded right. What?
I bet you have to be some world-renowned sewist to test a pattern.
It
Well, not
felt like it. I don't know who they gave it to.
the first astronaut suits were made by someone's grandmother. They were sewn on Singer sewing machines. At least the American ones.
Right.
I know in America we claim everything, and it
I
takes
know.
people
What did
off.
I don't know. We don't know what the cosmonauts. Actually, there was probably some Babchka who sewed their
Yeah,
machine.
exactly. Exactly. But they were hand sewn. All the original suits were hand sewn. They're museum pieces now. I would love to be one of those people though. Like, hey man, this singer put a suit on the moon. I would
Right?
never stop telling that story. Do you know when I look at this game, I've been playing this game came out like 92, 93. I've been playing it since it came out.
Yeah, I had an original Nintendo and Atari stuff. I just never got my siblings were more gamers.
As a kid I used it as an excuse to escape my life.
Yeah,
I came from an active big household and I was the youngest, so I could disappear
right.
and hide.
It's probably safer that way.
I've seen the NASA video on that. I was the test group to see that video. Identified some machines for them. See, Alibaba knows. Alibaba knows. The original stingers were made by someone's grandmother. The original stingers, the original astronaut suit, the NASA spacesuits were made on good old normal USDA certified Singer sewing machines.
Yup. Oh, I know. Oh, Ellie's our own personal Mark Gruber. But I caught a little bit of the stream yesterday when you were talking about the rehab clinics, and Mark Gruber actually wrote the book on detox centers because he's a certified drug and alcohol counselor,
It's a
among his
racket,
other
man.
claims to fame.
If you just like the property, we have never had so much trouble. The property next to the horse property by my job has a rehab. Every time someone escapes, the cops they come charging on our property. There was one time 3:30 in the morning. This cop was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "What are you doing?"
Right?
They interviewed some of the original makers in that video. That's awesome. Playtex was also responsible for a lot of the Mercury and Apollo program suit rubbers.
Oh, fun.
It's better than didn't Dior make the Yahtzee suits? Is it Dior?
Oh,
Who is
no. Hugo Boss.
Yes, I'm sorry. I don't want to besmirch Dior.
Well, they all had some funny business.
Do you know Willie Nelson wrote a song about that? He said, "I'm not in the Klan, but I make sheets on the family plan." His dad was a tailor, and they weren't in the Klan, but because the Klan paid him, they would make the suits. But he wasn't
Mm-hmm.
in the Klan. I'm a capitalist like that. Like if one of my enemies was like, "Will you make something for me?" I'm like, "Yeah, if you pay me, if your check
Oh,
clears."
hey, Skits.
Hey, skids.
Welcome back to the circus. Where it's been all misadventures for me so far, but
Here, I'll put Sonic back. I'm taking the day off. I've been sewing my face off. I might grab my vest in a minute, though. Even though Kilroy told me last night I should retire my vests. I'm thinking about opening up a great museum of vests.
yeah.
I think at 50, I'll stop dressing like a angsty 12-year-old from the 90s.
Why give yourself a time limit?
I know. There's someone I watched that she was like, when I turn 50, I'm going to start growing bangs. And everyone was like, you don't have to become your grandparents.
Yeah, why wait to have all the fun? Any country that got took over were made to work for them, just the way war works. Yep, war is a country. Yes, yep.
Absolutely. Look at Japan. That's why my Star sewing machine is like my coveted machine. Oh, how was the movie skits?
Just went and saw the new. Oh, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. I see that, and every time I have to like figure out what that acronym is, and I've been seeing it for days.
You know, people our age judge movies like that hard because we grew up with the originals.
Yes, I do remember sitting at the babysitters watching that with my siblings and the other kids.
Oh, I wish my son wasn't so cynical. He's on his weird little Jesus kick right now. I want to go see the turtles. When he was a little guy, I used that as an excuse. I'm like, let's go see this movie. He'd be like, okay, and I'm like, let's go see this movie. Aw,
Oh, yep. It's not terrible, all things considered. Well, that's good.
was not. Oh wow, that's not a
Right,
that's not a.
that's like a backhanded Slavic. Like it's fine.
It
It could
was
have
a
been way
movie.
better, right? Oh my God! Speaking of that, everybody, the girl who's playing Snow White complaining about her costume.
What is
Or
it
was
too
she?
tiny or something?
I don't know. Or was she? She was like, "Oh, it's so uncomfortable." Maybe she was trying to talk about how the now that when they sell the rights to the streaming platforms, they don't get royalties the same way they used to from the rebroadcasts. from cable, but she's like, I should get paid for for every hour that this is, people see me in this costume.
What? Okay. It depends on what your contract says. Let's be real. Like let's be 100 in the movie industry. You get paid for certain acts. Like if you get dunked, you get paid more. If they shave your head, you get paid. If you have to do like, you get subsidies for everything in the movie industry. You get paid more. You just have to speak up.
Yeah, maybe she's not there yet. Oh, you
Ice
thought Ice
Cube
Cube
was
was good. Super
nope. Not
fly.
gonna see it. I'm not gonna see it. Jackie Chan is okay. I might see. You're still see. You should have led with Jackie Chan. I'm not necessarily an Ice Cube fan because he made a Black Lives Matter video and is a total Trumper.
Well,
He
you can
played
be both. That's
he
a
played
funny
both sides.
combination.
No, he played both sides. Like he just needs to admit that he's a fiscal Republican. He is.
Right,
And
and
he'll
there's
tell
nothing
you
wrong with you.
because he's got Tiger Woods kind of money, but he just bothers me. He's known for ripping people off. But that's why he's rich.
Yeah, you gotta.
Jackie Chan is Splinter. I love Jackie Chan. I might go see the movie now. Ice Cube always struck me as a poser. His son is more of a poser because his dad was a real hardcore gangster rapper, and his son grew up in $1 million homes, and he claims to be this gangster. And
Oh
he's like
yeah,
a
that's funny.
total podcaster, and I'm like, bro, I know where you're from. You grew up in a better house than me, and I'm from the burbs, bro. Like I'm from the real life white picket fences, and he grew up in a castle.
Right, the McMansions.
When I was a kid, I understood what rich was when I walked into a friend's house and they had the retired center floor of the Lakers. They had one of the Lakers center the court. And when you walked in their house was the center court of the old Lakers floor. That's rich people stuff. Like they were beyond rich, you know.
Yeah, that's
My dad just felt rich because he could afford to pay for all of his kids. But these people were like old money. Money can be gangster. I think money like also like not bragging about it to me is gangster.
right. You don't need to. Yeah, I'm not into that whole like flex culture thing.
My grandfather had more money than anyone I ever know, and he always wore slacks, suspenders, and a white shirt. And he never changed his style. He would wear like Sears shoes. He
Yeah, more
never
money, and
did.
it is quite often gangster. Yeah, the mob is still real. It is. It
I saw a
is.
video of some guy in Italy going around smashing cars, and some guy got out of his car and wrecked him. They always use it as like anti-immigration things, but kind of like what Mark said last night. Like, okay, they have an African gang problem in Australia, but what people don't want to say is that those people were born in Australia. So it's they're Africans, but it's Australia, but they're Australians, you know. But I was so shocked that that problem hasn't gone away because I was gonna move there years ago, and I was like, Australia is very much like LA.
Mm-hmm.
And they have biker gangs like anywhere else, you know. Australia's crazy. It's not for the faint of heart.
No. Neither's that show Glitch. It's so weird. It's like zombies with Lost with. It's so weird.
What is it on?
Netflix.
I should watch, and I need something new to watch.
Yeah, there's 3 seasons of it.
I'm like in this weird show hole. Should I start folding my shirt? I have uh, Isaiah is in this whole preacher phase, so
Oh, still? He hasn't
well,
gotten
no,
past it.
he wants suits. He feels like he needs to wear a suit to church, and the
Oh,
church
well,
that
that's
he
okay. Yeah.
The church he goes to, people literally wear board shorts and like, hey, butterfly, how's it
Hey,
going?
hey, welcome to the circus.
I had over 400 t-shirts in Isaiah's closet, and I'm taking them out. And they're all black t-shirts because I'm a fanatic. So he can hang his suits in peace. But
Oh, that'll be nice.
it's a chore folding all my old shirts, you know. And plus, I've grown a few sizes, so some of them don't necessarily fit anymore.
Yeah, maybe it's time to retire some of them. Okay, I keep screwing up my machine today.
I've made so much. But tomorrow night, I will line the tunic. I am so happy I found a new pattern to make. I am so happy. I'm brace yourselves for tunic palooza. I'm gonna start. I'm gonna jazz it up. I'm gonna make a couple African ones, but I'm gonna jazz it up with some patterns. We need some. Do you know what it makes me laugh? Um, do you think? Well, I already know the answer. People around the world sew, and I think we forget that sometimes. So, like, it makes me laugh how certain I missed your live show last night, but I'm catching up. I certainly don't want to miss. The first 3 hours are all work. No, the first 4 hours are all work. Everything after that is a debacle. I worked hard and I sat there for a delirious hour. I heard that bad metal on metal. Alibaba, my Husqvarna Viking is not coming back, and it makes me want to cry. I am so sad that my first real machine does not want to play anymore. Absolutely, butterfly tunic palooza. I like that style. I'm gonna bring back that 1970s like sorcerer top style. Now, ever since I saw that woman wearing Spams at the BET Awards, I'm like, oh, I'm actually stylish.
I was wondering if the needle bar slipped because it seemed like, but then the bobbin wasn't working. Now that's running. Because yeah, let me try to throw back the bobbin. Let's see.
I agree with what you say about Paris, Kilroy. People blame certain issues, but the truth is, they're just like in America. We separate ourselves. I was having this conversation last night. When people ask me where I'm from, I say America.
I was born here.
Or I'll say like Panorama City, California, Kaiser Hospital.
I know we don't, right. What
That's
am
where
I
I'm from.
making? I am attempting to work on the top piece of my fancy pants. Oh, should I show it? Because I was very productive watching TV yesterday and got 1, 2, 3 and a half stretches of sequins, and
That's
these
awesome.
legs are just short of a yard wide. So I sewed yards of sequins yesterday. Because I know people are going to laugh at me. It was 50% humidity. I thought I was dying. It was only
I'm not
89
laughing.
degrees, but it was
I'm not
so humid.
laughing. I would be dying. I would be dying with 50% humidity. It's gross down here too. When I'm sweating with the air conditioner on, I'm ready to quit.
I was like, why do I was like, it wasn't even that hot. And I was sitting around and I was like, why do I feel so gross? And I look at the humidity and it was that high. I was like, oh, I've gotten soft because I can't handle when you live in a subalpine desert.
Oh, I had to look it up, Butterfly. This one, it has options for both. I made it without the Nehru collar. I made it without because it's all one piece, and they want you to like it takes 6 other pieces just to make that one piece. And I figured there's got to be an easier way to make it than
Then their
sixth form.
directions.
Yeah, there's got to be an easier way. So I just made it without it. But I want that look. That's the look I want for my tunic.
Yeah.
But I'm starting with the base look. And I learned I made a I made a quadruple XL. And I'm not a quadruple XL. It's huge. But that's the thing about life. It's a learning process. But tomorrow I will be lining it and trying it on again so you guys can all point and laugh at me. And now I'm going down a rabbit hole on online of how do you pronounce that? Nehru? Nehru. Nehru?
I don't
Nehru.
know. That's not one I know.
Nehru jacket. Oh, total rabbit hole. Ooh, look at that vest.
Okay, it was right. If I could
I
time it.
So that weird inappropriate jacket collar vest that I have is Nehru vest. That's funny. I have one of these, but it's really inappropriate.
Oh, well, that's not going to help anything.
The first day Godless Sewing that you said it.
Okay.
Nehru.
Our teachers here to instruct us.
Exactly. You know, one day I'll learn my lesson about overstreaming, but it was not this week.
I know you wrote it. I was like, I need to exercise. I need to not talk. Like, I thought, I kept thinking about it. I was like, I just can't.
I didn't realize until I woke up this morning and my voice was hoarse, and I'm like, uh-oh, I have done that to myself.
Yeah. Nehru. Okay. I know I did learn that it was Niger and not Niger this week, so I apologize to all the French speakers, Allie.
That's really how it's pronounced? You know I'm an
Niger,
American
yeah.
through and through. Oh, that's
Popular during the Beatles movement of the 60s and 70s. Okay.
That's awesome. I bought this really weird, inappropriate coat that has it's supposed to be like, you know how on the Diodore soccer they had a man and a woman back to back? It's two women instead of a man and a woman.
All right. I guess I'm gonna sew my sack of sequins. I can't troubleshoot and engage in the chat and want to cry again all at the same time. We'll work on something that I know I can be successful at for a few minutes.
So now that I'm into tunics, do you think I should get back into like making overalls and stuff? Because I actually wear my overalls.
You can make whatever you want. I guess I'm of the mind of like, I don't need 100 of things if I'm only going to wear 3.
I am a baby with a big closet and a hankering for fast fashion. So I'm kidding.
Okay,
I'm kidding about the fast fashion. I'm kidding. But I pride myself on making things that are practical. Like I want to get off into the fashion world, but I'm not going to make a giant triangle tent for someone to wear. Patent pending. If someone steals that idea, I will sue you.
No, I have to make those. I think somebody's already done it.
Thank you, Butterfly. I shouldn't just make stuff up. And that's my whole thing. Like I wear my spans, and I'm gonna expand my whole thing of spans. I've been wearing my cheetah spans, but those get a reaction when I wear them in public. Someone's always got something to say. It's always positive, but it's just funny to see people. And my American patch is racist, huh?
What is it supposed to be, American?
Well, like in the there's this Johnny Depp, Robert Trejo movie. It's called Once Upon a Time in Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a CIA agent, and he yells at this one operative where he's like, "Are you a Mexican or a Mexicant?" And that joke stuck with me my entire life. But if you look up this word, it's considered something bad, but we have politicized everything. I just want to wear cool badges.
Yeah, okay. All right.
I will be continuing that. Oh, that 3 people walked away when I pulled the patch out. I'm sorry. This killed my stream too.
Okay, let's see
I will
here.
move the America patch.
Look at the back of the top of the feed dogs and scrape it with a pin. It seemed to be grabbing the fabric and pulling into the feed dog hole. Yes, that is what the fabric looked like too. It had little holes on it,
Ugh.
which was not nice. Okay, back into the space here. Let's see here. What else is? Oh, we do our troubleshooting. So it's still there's a thing. That Nehru collar would trip me out. I'd feel like it was choking me.
I can't wear anything tight around my neck. I go into full panic mode, so I understand. I can't wear anything tight. That's why I know the exact measurements of my neck for that very reason. Can you wear something tight like that around your neck?
It depends. If it is simply decorative and I don't need it to be doing a job like a halter top, or I don't know how to explain. As long as I don't need it to be doing a job, if it's got to be supportive and functional, no, I feel like I'm choking to death. I do not feel very comfortable.
I have hardcore issues. Even as a kid, I really didn't even like wearing turtlenecks.
Yeah, I always preferred a mock turtle to a full turtle.
It was just, it was Dr. No, James Bond that did it for me. I love that movie. Hey, Waternay, how's it going? How's it going?
Oh, as it. Okay.
I'm like leaning into the computer like I don't have my telephone right here.
Like I should take the needle off if I'm going to be
I do want to make a mouse suit though. The 4 pockets look super practical, and I'd wear long sleeve shirts all day time. Same. A mouse suit. It is a practical suit. I have a book called Mao and the Mandarin, so you made me laugh when I saw that, Gilroy. Would that be considered culture appropriation? Like if I made a King John Il suit, would that be considered?
a Kim Jong Un. How can you culturally appropriate military style? Every country's got one.
Well, the younger one, I always get him confused with his dad, but he wears the same gray suit over and over and over. It's not. It's probably not the same gray suit, but it's such a
Right, he
simple
just has a
cut.
closet full of that same suit because he likes to call him out.
It's literally a gray suit with either 4 or 2 or 4 pockets, and he wears it over and over and over. I'm like, I can wait. Back to like that whole rapper thing. I saw him wearing this ridiculous sweatshirt, and I'm like, I can make that. I could easily make that, but it hung, and the sleeves. The only slight of the eye trick is how do I make the sleeves without completely connecting them? Do I cut it in the shape of a jacket and then just leave it open at the bottom? It looked almost like a shawl with a hoodie, or like a giant. It was so dramatic. I have to look it up again.
Yeah, I need a picture.
But it was of this really annoying rapper, but they're the only ones that have enough money to afford half of this stuff.
Right.
Like you literally have to be rich to afford half of these styles.
That's why we make stuff. Because I like cute things and I'm
In the
not spending that
1960s and
much
70s,
money.
it was popular among beatnik types in Europe and Australia, and nobody in China cared. Groovy, man, groovy. I still say spectacular, tubular, far out.
Oh,
I say far out all the time.
rad man.
Where I'm from, people still my cousin still says rad, and she keeps rad alive. And it's her age too. They're like 3 or 4 years older than you, and they always say, "That's rad." Well, we're like around the same age. They're like 5 or 6 years older than you, and they'll always
Okay.
say, "That's rad. That's rad." I'm sure Watchtower wouldn't allow it.
That's oh god. Oh, Kilroy trying to get us in trouble here. Yeah, that stuff that
I could
we
hear that in the accent. On the ad, I full disclosure, a long time ago, I dated a young woman who was from Boston, and I went there, and it's culture shock being from the West Coast. It was
That's an
culture shock.
accent.
It was. I was 17 years old. It was culture shock. There are still things that I learned from those people that I can't say on stream. Certain sayings.
Right. Oh. Oh, I had so much stuff here.
That
Oh,
last
this is
one was like enough to gag a maggot or whatever.
oh
Like
gosh.
totally, totally.
I know we should bring back the Shakespeare's Book of Insults.
I had an English book of quibs, and I am so mad that I can't find it. Oh man, I am
Okay.
physically burnt out. Is this my sewing hangover?
It might be. And just, I mean, just being very public for the equivalent of a part time job over the course of last week.
It's because I've had time on my hands, and I will never have that much. Well, until next summer. I figured I had to get one more in because my summer is officially over today. Because
Right, of
tomorrow is
school.
the first. Yeah, I gotta get up and
Ew.
yeah. And I'm taking my truck is so huge it will not fit in the parking lot. So I have
You
to
have
take
to
my
drive the mom mobile. Oh,
which
totally like. Ooh, Kilroy's Irish insult. This tide wouldn't take that one out. Ooh, that's good. I can like you that one.
how much do you want to bet that there's going to be a bunch of moms with Stanley Cups now that Stanley Cups are popular?
Oh gosh,
How much
everybody.
money? And I live in the land of like women drop their kids off with their like what's a really expensive bag? Like a
They're
Louis or something?
yeah,
Yeah.
or a Birkin if they're like
Yep.
really up there.
Yeah. Oh, a Birkin. Those are popular around here. I told my mom, like, my mom has a Chanel. I was like, bro, you need to stop carrying that. You're gonna get jumped. Somebody's gonna try to take your purse because it's worth more than your car.
I don't know. Those handbags don't really aren't worth the investment like people think they are.
I had a really, really rich friend who took me to. Okay, it's in Santa Barbara. I don't know if it's the Gucci store or
Oh,
one
the
of
one that
those
just got
stores.
robbed last week. They took like
First
thirty
off,
thousand K.
she knows how to be rich. I felt out of place. These people were giving me coffee because they knew her. They were so nice to me, but I just felt out of place because she was spending $4,000 on a bag. They treated her like a queen, you know.
Oh, I can't.
But
I don't
I
know. I
felt
can't
so out of.
imagine spending that much money. Kilroy is the Michael Kors bags. Yes. Let's see here. Mine's Kilroy. It's definitely the new yuppie suburban fashion accessory. Yes, Gucci, Louis, Birkins, Dior's, Chanel's. Mm.
Around here, you get to, like Alibaba said, you get to see them all. It's so weird. And you know what's so funny? When I was watching that, like I'm so trained. When I was watching that woman scanned her hand, I saw that she had a Chanel bag, and I was like, "Oh, that's just like the one my mom has." Like you're not poor. You are not poor, or you're fronting like you're not poor because it's a lot of money just to get that little bag. Or like I watch a lot of Black Twitter. I will never understand people's obsession with Louis Vuitton.
Yeah, I I'm not a label person though. I don't know. It's just not my. I don't know. I'll pay with coffee, but not the bag. Fair. I'm down with that.
They treated me like gold at that store because she was spending money, and I just had never I grew up going to like not the Nordstrom's rack and the outlet stores, you know. There used to be
We would Kmart, and then my grandma would complain that the discount stuff was too expensive.
same. We used to go to the JC Penney outlet in Northridge, California before the mall was expanded. I grew up on house brand, so it's weird to go in a store like that.
Oh, let's see here. I know I would love to see some of those. I don't think I've really seen them in real life, just on the info webs. I'll literally go to Walmart or the Ross Dress for Less and pick out whatever bag looks cool and fits my purposes. Yes.
That reminds me, I recently took Isaiah to Marshalls and was like, he's so picky.
There's nothing wrong with being picky. Though when I bought my new computer bag, I was um one of the ladies who reviewed it was like, I like this one just as much as my Armani bag. And I was like, all right, click, I'm buying this backpack.
I do like reviews like that though. Here's my thing. Like this is another reason why I don't even wear my watches. I don't want to walk around with $500 on my wrist. And there's people that would think that I'm broke for saying that. Like I feel weird walking around with something so expensive on my wrist.
I wash my hands so much. I don't know. I love putting all my baubles on, but I frequently don't because I don't know.
I when I wear a watch, I notice that I bang it up against a lot of stuff. So I don't know. I don't wear my watch unless I'm like, if you see me wearing a watch, I'm either showing off or doing something really fancy.
Right.
I didn't know that. So Kilroy, my dad was like that. He would buy watches at Big Lots. I'll wear those. Like I feel confident wearing those. Like I said, my mom buys me a watch every year. I'm like, this is beyond my pay grade. Like I can't even. And with the way society is now, it just makes me a target. And silver, even though my watch is like the ones I have are silver, silver is expensive.
Mhm. All right. Okay, let's take a look here.
You would love the Big Lots watches though, Kilroy. Because of my vision, I get giant open face watches because of my terrible vision. I'm one of those people who I always have to wear a watch when I'm. Oh, sorry.
You literally can't remember the time if you didn't wear one. I think my excuse for not having a watch is I carry my phone all the time, so that tells the time for me.
I think it's weird that people can't tell time on a non-digital watch.
Oh yeah, yes.
Even well, it's because he's raised around me, but my son can read time on a regular watch, you know?
Well, they're gonna have to change that at some point if we continue to not teach kids how to read clock on the mini mental status exam. One of the or on like the dementia screens, like one of them is like, can you write in the clock faces?
Oh man, I've been for a dementia test. When they asked my grandmother, because she was like, I don't have dementia. And they asked her, okay, who's the president? You should have seen the look in her face because she couldn't remember who the president was.
Ooh,
And she honestly had to like be honest with herself, like, oh, maybe I
yeah.
do have dementia. I will never forget when they gave her that test. It was strange. But my grandma was really headstrong, and I love her so much. When I redid my grandma refused to take her pills because she didn't think she was sick. And when I redid my house and my carpet, I found pills all along the lining.
Oh, she was stashing
They
them for later.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. My mom always says it's good that I don't have toddlers or cats or anything small in my house. Cuz my grandma was cuffing her pills. Every time I haven't found any lately, but it makes me laugh. She was a headstrong human.
Killer, I quit wearing analog watches because I kept smashing them. I wear the slim Casio calculator watch. Oh, that's funny.
That's
They,
gangster. I
I
want
didn't
one of
realize they
those.
still made that one.
I would wear one of those. Like I want one of those old digital watches from when I was a kid, but they never worked. Oh, your camera's out.
Yeah.
They never worked. Like those old cheapy ones. I want like one of those old Ninja Turtle watches.
Let's see.
Or like the ones you'd get at Burger King.
That,
Oh, excuse me. I'm old. I'm so old that I remember when the Burger King used to give out digital watch. Excuse me.
let's see how this goes.
That's my body telling me I need more water. I honestly feel naked without a watch when I leave the house. But I wear like the cheapy Big Lots ones.
Okay.
Do you know human beings are so funny? Um, I didn't get the receipt at the bank the other day, and this woman saw my bank balance and she asked me out.
Oh, that's.
Pretentious, and I told her to have a good evening. I was polite about it, but she kind of ignored me, and then she saw my bank balance. She's like, "Sir, sir, sir." She followed me to my car and was like,
Oh,
"This is
that's.
your receipt."
Oh, that's gross.
And then she asked me out, and I'm like, "You're only asking," like in my head, I'm like, "You only asked me out because I can afford to pay for your life." Like,
Right.
Saudi,
Yeah. No
Saudi.
thanks.
Oh yeah. So now I hit no receipt.
Oh, yeah.
It bothered me. Like that's why, because I dress like a hobo, so people think that I'm socioeconomically something different.
Right. Let's
I
see
have a
here. If I said it right, that Casio calculator watch is literally the most accurate timepiece I have ever owned. Even computers connected to the internet are more off than that.
huh,
Allie's
huh.
got a Mickey Mouse watch with the hand fell off and you threw it out the last time I saw a
Oh
piece. A price paid for a working restored one was 10K.
yes, yes. As a collector, like that's the stuff I look for at thrift stores or Mickey Mouse watches, especially here in the land of Disneyland. You could make so much money selling that. Oh my gosh, I because I buy and sell clothes. Like I sold an old Mickey Mouse sweater for an outrageous price. People Disney sells well. Oh, I think I need to get back into that. I made a lot of money buying and selling clothes, but it's a pain storing stuff.
It is, and then you gotta ship stuff. I don't know. That feels like too much work.
That's the reason why I was kind of over it. I had a relationship with the people at the UPS store and the postal service. Not
Right
a
now,
healthy one.
it's going on strike, and that like yellow trucking or whatever just went out of business.
It's not DHL, is it?
No, I think it's literally called yellow trucking.
Oh, okay. Because we have yellow trucks here, but they're it's called DHL.
Right.
But like when they show up, you know you ordered something from an offsite because they're like super bootleg. Because UPS and the postal service rule here, and of course Amazon, King Amazon.
Yeah, my fabric's getting stuck in the feed dogs and it's pulling for some reason.
Is your
Always.
timing off?
That's what I thought, because there was that while where like the whole needle bar wasn't moving and I went inside and touched it. Let's go back inside.
I've never heard of yellow trucking.
I hadn't either until I heard they were going out of business. Let's see here. Killer, they overextended themselves and bought too many companies too quickly, and they had some of the worst services in the business as well. Oh, that would do it.
You know, the one thing I like about our delivery services is that they still hold their drivers and they accountable, and they'll back up what they say. For as much as Amazon is evil, they back up everything they say.
There's something
And
that
if you get something ripped off,
does to move. Yeah.
they'll back it up for you. But I'm a professional Karen, so be wary.
And
No,
Mary.
you know what? I'm gonna tell you, it pays to be a Karen sometimes. Like it's just simple things that people will not help you on. So you got to speak up.
Yeah, that's something. Yeah.
Defluffing is important.
Yeah, fluff summer. I know. That's.
It's gonna be so interesting when Junior gets dropped off because I guarantee you he's waking up right now.
Oh God, he's gonna have a rough go tomorrow morning.
Last year on registration, we took pictures, we all laughed, we went to lunch, we came home. 20 minutes later, I walk in the house and he was snoring in his room. I have a feeling that's what's gonna happen again this year.
Try holding the needle clamp and see if the bar is clipping. Hold the
I
needle.
love Perot. Is that Perot? I need my glasses. I love Perot. Have a great night, Butterfly.
The needle clamp and see if the bar is clipping. I don't.
I'll be streaming tomorrow. Back to School Blues. I'm working on the title.
Yeah, there's a catch right at the very end of it. It's not moving smoothly, right as it's getting towards the presser foot bar.
Timing is an art form. That's why I think sewing machines are amazing. But I'm biased because I love sewing machines. But timing is extremely important. Oh. Is it not catching?
No, it was catching, but the feed dogs were chewing the back of the fabric a little bit.
I know that well.
I mean, I wouldn't have been surprised if I'd screwed up the tension or the timing when I was moving the bar and nothing was moving.
That's funny. That happens on modern machines. That happened to me yesterday, and but it's different on modern machine than it would be a.
Let's see what's going on. Try what it would do for a can of compressed air right now.
Oh.
Okay, that is perfectly fluffed. Let's see here.
Ah.
Go. Have fun with coffee with Mama.
Yay, have fun, Waternay. I'll be around tomorrow, way more caffeinated.
Okay, there's two problems. Brilliant. That's why why stop when I can have two problems instead of just one? I love that you're playing Sonic on that teeny weeny screen.
I refuse to, like, everything in my house shall be plugged in. I refuse to let any of my old technology go.
Okay, those are the front screws. Let me
This
get
game is different because I was there when I'm so old. I was there when it came out, so I can play this in my sleep. I just lost. I would be perfect for a Twitch channel. I love to ramble and play video games. Well, actually, I don't play video games. I play like specific games. Can you just go on Twitch and bomb and be terrible at video games?
I think so. Yeah, who cares?
So we live in the world of like self-affirmation for everything. So I'm sure I should be able to go be a terrible Twitch streamer. As a mediocre YouTuber.
I don't love playing video games that much. That just does not sound like my idea of a fun time.
When my ex-wife was pregnant with Isaiah, I actually told Isaiah this yesterday. Um, oh gosh, I've been hitting that spot for years. Um, have a great white night, Waternay. We'll be around tomorrow. Um, I had an Xbox and I was bored. I'd come home from work and my ex-wife was obsessed with In and Out. She ate it every day for 35 days.
I've never eaten it.
I think it's gross. Do not. You know, it's funny. I haven't had it in almost 14 years because of her. Almost 14 years I haven't had In and Out one time because of her. But I gave my Xbox away because I felt like grown men shouldn't play video games because I was about to have a kid.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I guess Twitch seems to have everything, says Killer Ray. You can literally sit there and BS with the chat if you want to nowadays. I know, but why do I need a third platform to stream to? I've already got two. That's a lot of live chats to keep up with.
I'll tell you, the degenerate in me wants to get sponsored so someone pays me so I can do my degenerate stuff and not have to go to work anymore.
Yeah, I'd be lying if I. Yeah.
The older I get, my body cannot take my job, even sitting in the office, even like, because I have to show these kids how to drive the tractor. I have to show them how to turn a weed whacker maintenance. If I give one more freaking speech like that, my head is going
You
to
need to make a
explode.
video for it so you can just reference it and say this is your annual safety video and just send them to the Work Business YouTube channel.
That's not a, that's it. That's not a bad idea. That's like yesterday when Kilroy said I should make a racing lawnmower. I have a John Deere riding mower that's sat there for over 25, 30 years. It's sat there since I was in high school and junior high. These things are feasible.
I
I have.
know. It's
I wonder how mad my boss would be if she saw me tooling by at 30 miles an hour on a lawnmower.
I guess as long as it looked like you were mowing the lawn, she might not be that bad.
Oh no, she grew up around an engineer. She was married to an engineer. She knows the difference. She knows. Busy work doesn't, like, she checks.
Tilt the machine back and clean the rest of the feed dog bar. All the surfaces go back to the shaft. Yeah, that's what I think is going to be the next because I saw some dust underneath it that I was like, I should probably just take the. Okay, let's clear off the table. Thank you to my sewing machine guru for being here to walk me through things. And I knew I was anxious for some reason, and I didn't really think I was going to have sewing machine problems, but
I have a question for the
I might have an answer.
I completely forgot my question because I was going to ask you guys and my phone at the same time, and I bonked. I'm weirdly burnt out from sewing. It's the emotions behind it. And then school starts tomorrow, and I have to see someone I grew up with, and then it's going to be, oh, hi, I went to Harvard and Yale and to 3 black colleges, and I'm going to be like,
I couldn't deal with
yeah, I
that much
dropped out of college
business.
and I dressed like Willie Nelson.
But I have a job and I know how to do a few things.
My town's extremely pretentious, and like I come from a place of overachievers, so it's mind-numbingly annoying when I see someone I haven't seen in 20 years and they're like, "Oh, I'm the Secretary of State. What are you doing?"
Oh, Jesus. Not that, but I wouldn't want that job either.
I know a few. Or like my friend who went from cheerleader to millionaire because she's a realtor.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, go stuff. Every time she puts motivational quotes on Facebook, I'm like, you are the reason I don't go on Facebook. Go stuff yourself. Oh, oh man. I sincerely think I did something to my heel because my heel is not healing.
Okay, tell me more.
Is it possible to crack the bone underneath your heel, or like,
Yeah,
or put pressure? Like, it's the it's the actual bone pushing down on the fatty or whatever's at the bottom of my foot. If
the
I put complete,
fascia,
I
fatty.
I feel it when I'm stepping on it, and it's not going away. And it was so bad 2 weeks ago. I've been soaking my foot, but I crashed a motorcycle on Las Vegas Boulevard 3 weeks after my ex-wife and I broke up, and I was in a major car accident in 2018, 2019. Like major. I had to learn how to walk again. So everything randomly kind of hurts.
Yeah, there could be some arthritis.
But I've done something to the bottom of my foot where I have like I'm stretching more than ever nowadays.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that.
Also, Google planner's foot. I hope it's not that.
Plantar fasciitis, not plantar's foot.
I really do not have.
It's fasciitis.
Oh, he put planter's foot.
I know. That's why I had a
Oh,
giggle
okay.
and then said that's not the right word.
Sorry, doctor. Sorry.
There's no doctors here.
I know. I'm just kidding.
I don't know what you're
My
talking.
my heel. The older I get, like I pulled my coccyx, and I didn't
Ooh,
even. I was walking around. That was one of the worst live streams. I'm glad I took it down. I had a cane. I was like, it made me realize I'm not invincible anymore, and I never was.
right.
But when I pulled my coccyx, literally standing in this room, and I learned a lesson that day. I learned a major lesson that day. Stretch more, eat better, treat your body better.
Okay, I think that catches up just about ground. But do.
Old man sewing for real. Do you know? I typed in black man sewing, and I was so shocked that I haven't cornered the market on that. There's other people who have released more videos than me about sewing. I subscribe to every single one of them too.
Oh, wait a
I,
second. Hold.
I discovered a
What
lot when
on?
I put.
You're right.
What's that?
Oh, Allie's comment. Wait a sec. You pulled what online?
It does sound worse. And do you know the only reason I know to properly say the word coccyx is because I went to the doctor. And I got laughed at because I went from strong guy to helpless. Like I couldn't even ride a bike. My mom had to drive me. It was embarrassing.
Oh, well, the coccyx is a bone, so you can't pull your coccyx.
Something
You
moved
could have
down there.
like disarticulated it,
I
but
did, and it hurt.
yeah.
It was, oh, I learned a lesson that day. I'm not invincible anymore. When I was younger, I felt like I could do anything. And as you get older, your body reminds you that you can't.
Oh, that's you just have to do it differently or warm up more. I don't believe that unless You bet. Oh, never mind. But
I do stretch. I do stretch way more now. Like I stretch every day. I get up. And the funny thing is, you teach your children through like people talk a lot, but you teach your children through physically having healthy
great
habits.
examples.
My son now, every day when he wakes up, he drinks a bottle of water and he stretches because that's what I do.
Yeah,
You know, and like it's just better now. And when I drink water, I feel my body's like, oh, thank you for replenishing this. We
I
were
know. I've been
low.
much better since I got this sippy cup. Since I'm managing to get like almost half a gallon of fluids in most days, if not a little more.
Same. My fake Stanley has improved because I'm drinking 10 times more fluid. That was my father's problem. Like we literally had to like force him to drink water. He never drank water.
Ooh, I know
And then
you.
I saw this thing where this ex-football player said, "Oh, the body produces 67% of our water." Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, "Bro, you sound just like my dad. You're gonna die young. Don't do it."
Yeah, don't drink Prime either.
But this guy named Chad Ochocinco, he legally changed his name to Ochocinco like an idiot.
Oh,
Um,
I, that's so crazy, Allie. Your friend broke his coccyx before it jumped on an icy slope on a wood sled, broken tailbone when he landed. He couldn't watch. Yeah, that hurts. Oh,
if I
you're
if
not
I
you.
pulled
You
my
get
if
in
I pulled
public.
my coccyx out in public, you end up on a list out here.
Yeah, see, but does it? It seems a little funny that he was the one who got in trouble for doing it at the adult theater. Like, how many other people are doing that and just didn't get popped for it?
I think that particular place probably had some hardcore rules because most of those places are where men of the same sex go to cruise each other.
Right?
You have no idea how mad people were when they ripped them all out of Hollywood. They literally was there was a rally. We're like, you're destroying Hollywood. They took all the seediness out of Hollywood.
What's Hollywood without seeds?
What's Hollywood without like a bunch of weird stores? They've sanitized. They've really sanitized Hollywood, kind of like what they did to New York too. New York is gentrified. This one guy, he was like he flat out said, "There's no more black people don't live in Harlem anymore."
Right. Well, it's funny too that what the mayor of New York was like, we're going to be a sanctuary city, and now is like, close the borders. We can't take them all. You can't stop it. Okay. You can't have it both ways.
It still trips me out how New York they're just different than California, I guess. With procedurally with how what they do. Like the cops like we do stuff like that all the time here and the cops don't care. I've seen a bunch of free concerts and these fools didn't pull permits. And as long as people keep it on the up and up, like the cops are like, "Hey man, if you guys come together and you don't hurt each other, I'm not going to do anything."
Right, yeah.
And I'm talking about in modern times, like in 2023, I've seen unlawful assemblies and the cops don't care as long as you're peaceful.
Nope, they maxed out all of their hotel capacity to service them, and now they're like, yep, no. Oh
Crazy.
no, I'm not going to say they're just going to ship them up to Canada to let the maids deal with them. That's kind of too. That's that's bad. That word's already left my mouth. Don't lose my
So,
screen.
have you seen the Barbie movie?
No,
You and I are the only two people I know so far. Who else has not? I will be
I'm sure.
surprised
I
if
don't
my
think anybody in this chat has seen the Barbie movie. I mean, come on, give the chat a little bit of credit. I mean, if Butterfly had said she'd taken her grandkids, I would have given her a pass. But at least the
what
regular, maybe somebody who's not a regular chatter might have, and there's no shame. But I don't think the active chatters have seen this movie.
I asked my ex-wife, I was like, are you gonna take Isaiah to go see the Barbie movie? And she's like, don't worry. I already took my niece. I was like, good. You got your fix. Do not use my son as a scapegoat to go see this movie.
Well, I guess there was some South American artist who a number of years ago had done Barbie as the Virgin Mary and Ken as Jesus. and they brought it back, and now they're getting like death threats for their art installation.
You know what? As someone who gets death threats from people, I'll never understand people who get tough online. I will never understand that.
You know, people that dressed up, made their own dresses for it, and went to see the Barbie movie. Yeah, there was a lot of the costumers on YouTube for the past couple of weeks have all been making their Barbie costumes.
Black Twitter too. I was so shocked. Everyone's going to go see. Everyone's seeing this movie. I'm just shocked at the amount of people that are going to see the Barbie movie. And I'll tell you why. You're gonna laugh at me. I didn't see Avatar until almost 4 or 5 years after it came out. Somebody left a DVD in a property that my dad owned, and we were cleaning it up, and I was like, "Oh, I've never seen Avatar," so I took it home.
I've never seen it.
I'm not a trend follower like that. Like, I'm just not. And plus, I'm like always have stuff going on in my life where it's like this movie is not important. I have real life stuff going on.
Yeah, and I think I don't know. It's a jaded, small, humanless, less adult. None of the kids like. I don't hang around enough little kids. I don't know. They just don't float my boat
I'm
right now.
I'm surrounded by kids. See, but there's mainly dudes around here. There's no little girls around here, so I doubt anyone around here is going to go see the Barbie movie. Now that I think
Well,
about
unless
it,
you're Justin Trudeau with his son.
which there's no, I'm not trying to judge too hard. It's just not my thing. And I'm in
Yeah,
this like I watched Absolute Fabulous. Like I'm
and
down.
it's not like we're not into gay stuff. Gay
Yeah,
shit
like
around
let's be real. I'm pro gay stuff. I prefer gay stuff. But like just the Barbie movie. I'll tell you, when I was a kid, I was obsessed with GI Joe. I have not seen one of the GI Joe movies. I was obsessed with GI Joe as a kid.
Might have seen him when I was little in the theater with my cause, but yeah, Ellie's seen Avatar, but not Barbie.
I liked Avatar, and when they come out with this second one on DVD, I'll watch it. I don't have the patience to sit in the movie for 4 hours.
No, I want to eat
Uh-uh.
my own food and sit in my own space and do my own things.
That is literally
So,
an anxiety attack waiting to happen. That happened to me during The Hobbit. I had to leave in the middle of the movie and eat a hot dog and smoke a cigarette. Gosh, that was so long ago when I saw that. I drink black coffee and smoke like a chimney. I'm built for these gritty 60s and 70s movies. Absolutely. Do you know
yes.
Kilroy? I watch Hawaii Five-O every day. I watch it at my job now, and it reminds me of you. It totally reminds me of you.
You're turning into an old lady watching your programs.
The cool thing is, like, the clients at my job do, because we have people that come in the shop. Like, I have a whole program and stuff, but they'll look at me and they're like, I remember when this came out, because they're all like 20 years older than me. Well, let's be real. My place is for senior citizens too, so everyone
Yeah,
there is a bit older.
I know my back hurts too much sitting in theater seats because my
Yeah,
feet
I
on the
got
floor.
hanging out with my pops spoiled me because we would drink and smoke, and it never made me want to go see a movie again. Because we put surround sound in the garage. We turned the garage into a movie theater.
Yeah, that sounds way more fun than actually spending
And like
$20 for a ticket and then
exactly, like we had Lazy Boys, and then like I'll never forget when Prometheus came out. We talked the whole movie. We cheered. They would have kicked us out of the theater if we'd acted like that. Good times. Good
it
times.
is not a good time. The screws on this faceplate are kind of a bitch.
Sewing mate, you saw my meltdown that one day when I thought that my machines weren't working. I had a real crisis that day, a real meltdown.
Well, you can't see my Facebook, but we've had a couple of meltdowns, and fortunately, they always seem to happen when my spirit sewing animal happens to be in the chat to walk me through. Not that I'm sure that we fixed this one yet, but
We all have bosses and people throughout our life that like certain things that stick with you for the rest of your life. I told you the story about how when I worked at the gay Starbucks, Me and this kid ran. We just didn't make coffee, and the manager pulled us in the back, and he was like, "This is Starbucks. We must always have coffee." Like he went purple face. He was so. It was just illogical to him why our rookie selves could not make coffee. And I feel like that when my sewing machine breaks down, I'm like, I'm sitting in a room of sewing machines. And if one breaks down, then another one does, I have a crisis.
Oh, that's true, Killer. You can watch a four-act play, but a movie theater bores the hell out of you. Yeah, did I see any plays this year? No, but they made enough money to be able to complete the 2023 season, so that was nice. And the weather's been good.
In my local area, every play I've ever gone to, every intermission, people are smoking J's in the parking lot. So again, I love going to plays, but I support local theater. Like we have an actual playhouse on the main street here,
So do
and
we,
I
but I think to have some marriage, even though it's legal, there's so many yuppie, pretentious people that you might get Karen.
it's a numbers game at this one particular thing. It's more the stoners outnumber the normies, so to speak. Because
Ah,
anywhere else, you will get shunned. I smoke my old man pipe sometimes. Like when I have a driver, I take my old man pipe with me, and people look at me like, "Sir, are you smoking marijuana in public?" Like, excuse me, sir. Excuse me. What are you doing? No one has said a word to me, but people do look at me crazy.
there we go. All right, fingers and toes
It's less
crossed.
harmful than nicotine. At least that's a lie I tell myself. You're
Yeah.
almost there.
Okay.
Kilroy, you have what I call the damning eye. You caught my screen, my tiny screen. You caught me hitting my inhaler, then hitting my pipe the other night.
Oh, jeepers. Wow, I missed quite some quite some shenanigans.
Oh, it's been a week. It's been a week.
Yeah, no, it has. Oh, that. Yeah, I got a couple of not super awesome things on my list. The first one in depressing news is Gonzalo Lira. So he was part of the, I don't know, something. Then was they used to call him Coach Red Pill, CRP, in the manosphere space. He is got Chilean and American citizenship. In May, he got arrested by the SVD, the Ukrainian secret police. He managed to get out, and then in May, he got arrested again and spent 3 months imprisoned in Ukraine.
Oh wow.
The, the Chilean embassy was marginally more helpful than the American embassy. On Wednesday or Thursday, he got was released, and they returned his passport and his motorcycle permit. So he was trying to make it to Hungary to seek asylum. He'd put a couple of he he cried a little bit and then made a YouTube video and was like, "If you don't hear from me in 12 hours, I didn't make it."
Oh
And then
wow.
nothing happened. And then I don't know, that individual from the CIA, from our government, CIA, made a statement. Or oh no, not our government. They were Ukrainian, or I don't even know understand what is going on with that person. But kind of like proud that they caught him again. So yeah, we've got a American Chilean prisoner in Ukraine who's getting sentenced probably to a work camp and is gonna die there. Oh,
There's like 50 horrible jokes that I want to say, but I'm not going to.
yeah, they just shipped him off to the gulag. Let's see here, Kilroy. I'm like that with people who don't who with people who don't know how to work a Mr. Coffee. I'm like, they've been around for 50 years. They sell a bunch of these every day. You should have learned by now. Yeah, if they drink coffee, you should figure out how to use that basic coffee maker. If they don't drink
Exactly.
coffee, then I might give them a pass. But it's pretty self-explanatory. Put in water, press on. Okay. And my tension's too tight.
Do you know, it's so hard for me to explain to my child about video games before paywalls. Like how you just literally got the satisfaction of like actually beating the game and that was it. Like you didn't have to post it up against the entire world.
Right.
I want to it's not even like a pretentious thing, but like one of the reasons I want to start a Twitch channel is because I want someone to pay me to do my hobbies. And I feel like if I build up an army of disgruntled 40-year-olds, I find it ironic that all the people I ended up streaming with were kind of all around the same age.
I just trying to build a following on another platform. Like it's hard enough to manage. Like I just don't see the need to try to do another one right now.
My thing is, and there's somebody that I used to know that I'm stealing this from somebody that I used to know from Australia, but it's true. I want to transfer my Twitter numbers to my Facebook, to my YouTube. I have 3,000 followers on YouTube.
On Twitter.
I'm sorry, on Twitter. I want them to be 3,000 followers on YouTube.
Yes, please.
Like,
Or
how
on
do I
Rumble.
like?
I'd take it on Rumble instead, but yeah.
Every time she would advertise, though, like, and I know a lot of those are bots and stuff, but every time she'd say, "Hey, like, don't forget, like, you guys like my Twitter stuff. I have a YouTube channel where you can see my face." No one cared. So it's just weird. It's weird. I'm like, we had an expansion disc, but the game was actually finished by itself. They didn't sell you a half a game. Thank you. And then sell you the other half. Thank you. That's what drives me insane. Isaiah got a lifetime ban from PlayStation, and like, I sent him a Karen email. I was like, look, fine, but just give me the couple grand back that I've spent between Fortnite and these stupid games.
Right, if he's gonna get banned off these platforms, I want my money back.
That's cool. Like, I know what I'm getting myself into, but if you're gonna ban me, like, can I get a grand at least? Like,
Right.
I do not miss Fortnite. To tell you the honest truth. And I didn't realize how bad it was until my cousin, who was a gamer, walked in and was like, "Do you realize your kid has like $500 or $600 on his Fortnite?" And I'm like, "No, I don't."
Yeah, that's no bueno.
So I don't miss Fortnite at all. And quite honestly, well, my life was peaceful until the Oculus came back into play.
I know.
But
How are you gonna make sure he gets his schoolwork done?
I'm actually, summer dad is a lot different than school year dad. I'm actually no nonsense when it comes to school. His mom and I both are, because we know the importance of it.
Mm-hmm.
Especially his mom, because like she's working for 20-year-olds now. And she kept on telling me, man, I shouldn't have dropped out of college. I'm working for 25-year-olds.
Right. Yeah, people are brand loyal to platforms. That's why I'm just gonna stick to the two. I mean, streaming platforms until I get enough on locals. I'll stream to locals too, but that's basically Rumble. I remember when to buy a game, you bought a cartridge, and then that was it, and you were happy, right?
Damn right. Damn right. That's my whole reason for rambling, Alibaba. Like, I was recently this was during COVID. I hadn't played Mario in years. When I beat Mario 64, you're gonna laugh, and it's okay to laugh at me because you have to laugh sometimes. I cried. When you have to go on the roof and you meet Yoshi. When I met Yoshi, I cried and screenshotted it on my phone and didn't post it.
Okay. Well, we fixed some stuff and then created other problems. My looper thread in the bottom here, now I've just got my tension off because I know it's not supposed to look like fluff down there.
And I walked ways to high both ways.
In the snow. 13 kilometers with no bus.
We used to say that to my grandfather because every time he'd tell a story, it would just get worse and worse. Every time. It would start off as I was walking down the street, then it was I had no shoes on when I was walking down the street.
It's my upper tension that's off. What the fuck? I shouldn't have screwed with this knobby up here. Okay,
but how does it look though?
Start screwing in.
That's the important thing.
Oh, let's see here. Oh, here, let me see if I just make myself jag cord on this for a minute.
Ooh.
Yeah, except I've got like a 1/4 inch like holes. The tension is off now. Got like it's like furry down there. So, but it's not trying to pull as much, so some things are better. We'll just keep playing next. Time I'll tell you the snow is a blizzard with a pack of wolves following us.
Exactly. Yes. Oh, you switched the angle on me to this. I don't think anyone wants to see my washer or dryer. I put a mirror back there so it deflects from all the fabric next to my washer and dryer. Because I'm a walking, talking fire hazard.
What? Okay, let's see here. I can't. Yes, we did that. Okay, let's try this again. Threaded, yeah.
I can't believe I'm strained out. You know what's really funny? I'm like, oh, I don't have that much fabric. I stupidly got put on the Waverly waiting list because I'm so impatient. I can't go to Walmart, which is literally 4 minutes from my house. I'm looking at 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 yards. I'll be good on fabric for a while.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. It's because it's folded all nice.
Right. It looks smaller when it is less space taking. I can't. Oh, no, that's you. Okay.
I do, Kilroy. I do have fabric by the pound. I didn't even realize it until I started looking around. I need to organize, and I have like this stupid habit of buying fat quarters, and I don't even make quilts. I just use them as like the insides of hoods.
That's right. Just because people sell it for some reason doesn't mean you need to use it for that.
I'm addicted to fat quarters. I really didn't even know it was until I subscribed to Fat Quarter Shop on YouTube.
Okay. I know, that's why I was joking. He should do the 40-pound fabric challenge. Right? Because I don't usually know the widths of mine, but I could weigh it and be down 40 pounds easy.
I bet I have 40 pounds just sitting there with my scrap.
Right, just staring at you in the face.
I really need to chuck this mic stand. Every week I trot it out, and it's just getting worse and worse. Poor guy. And I think I have another arm in my toolbox.
Yeah. Let's see here. Let's try it. Not myself.
This is true.
Back quarters are always too big for my small projects and too small for my big projects. I don't know how I feel about them. Yeah.
I'll tell you, I go insane because they have them for $1 at Walmart, and they always have the Day of the Dead ones. So I go crazy for the Day of the Dead one.
Yeah, and there's probably extra this time because they've started trotting out the Halloween-y stuff.
Oh my gosh. They've already opened up the Halloween store by my house.
Oh, that's an interesting idea. Saw it in Killer says saw it in half and go to the Guitar Center and get a new heavy duty one. They're just a plastic washer and the locking one on other side, says Allie.
That's
Okay.
exactly what it is, and the washer is stuck. And I think because I'm such a refurbisher and such a fixer, I want to fix it, and then I don't do it until it's like I keep on forgetting to fix it. Because the last one I took apart, I was like, "This is nothing. It's just literally two washers." But the screw, like I'm heavy handed, so I think I screwed it too tight,
Mm.
and now it won't come loose, and it just sags when it wants to. And I'm being a total jerk because I guarantee you I probably have another one in here. I just need to look. For some reason, I think my dad thought of himself as Joe Jackson. He just didn't have enough kids around the same age.
Or he just couldn't pay enough or coerce you all enough at the same time.
We were all too old. We were too old to be coerced. Stop struggling, stop sewing, stop cutting fabric and fix it.
Right. I'm trying to not be struggling. Got that?
Thank you, Kilroy. I feel the same way. I'm always dressed up. It's
Right.
always Halloween for me.
Only normal holiday I like anymore. It's so true.
I told you about Shia LaBeouf, Alibaba. He's LA
Yes.
famous. He is LA famous. I hope I see him. I doubt he'll ever remember our interaction, but I'm going to ask him if he does because I embarrassed him. I doubt he'll remember it though because he's
Yeah,
had a
it's
filled life.
right. But I was going to get so far in this project today, and instead we troubleshooted sewing machines.
Now I just have the Jackson 5 stuck in my head. I should not have said Joe Jackson. I should not have said Joe Jack. Now I just have. So I take hate symbols and I turn them into something else, like that pure white clothing shirt I have, like all those things that I have. So I'm gonna do something with my America patch. I'm not gonna let people browbeat me to not dressing the way I want to. And if I want to be offensive to people and troll
That's
races,
right. You got to do that.
I'm gonna troll. I'm gonna troll. I troll racism. I think racism is weird because I'm Godless Sewing Shaun of the Dead and I walk around in my own little world. So I troll racists. I thought it was the only one who still listened to Joe Jackson. Joe Jackson. I bump all of that. I rock out in here and in my house, but Isaiah made me want to cry. I was bumping good old Faith No More. Isaiah looked at me and he's like, "This music is for old people." That's what I
Shut your
said. I
mouth.
freaking
Shut your
he,
mouth.
he hurt my feelings. Like he hurt my feelings. And I have big speakers in the house too. But he was like, "This is for old people." So I rock out in the garage now, where I don't get harassed by teenagers.
Okay. This is going from bad to worse. I've got like hair on the underside. It stands up so much. You can get you can't get what you want till you know what you want. Yes. I want the tension on this machine to be fixed. What knob needs to be screwed? I feel like if it was on my new Kenmore, I would want to tighten that little screw where the bobbin is, but this drop-in thing doesn't. Oh, I guess there is an equivalent. Let me just try to futz around with this screw real fast. Where's my screwdriver? Oh my gosh, I got myself a pair of yellow glasses because we decided we keep saying that um we're gonna have certain tools in the house. I need to feel comfortable using them. So I got glasses and we got some of those um and don't break anything. Targets that are supposed to like split or goose and stuff, so that should be fun when we go to the range. Let's see here. Killer says the mist across the window hides the light. Even though he was kind of a one-hit wonder, he was a killer. He has a killer back catalog. Okay. If I was there, I would probably be working. I know it would probably be working right now. I just can't see well. Cataracts don't help. There, I get you. Yeah, there. Now it's not pulling. I just screwed up the tension somehow on the underside. It looks nice on the top. There's no loopies, but I'm making rat's nest underneath.
If there would be a problem. Do you know I love Californians because my ex-wife and I just had a whole conversation and we called each other bro like 6 or 7 different times. And she wasn't hurt that I called her bro. She didn't correct my English because we're
I'm
both.
sorry you have cataracts, Allie. That's terrible. Hopefully you can get them fixed because I don't want them to send you to the maids. I won't let the maids clean up after you. Just send out a flare. I will. I'll be
Duh.
right there.
I will come down. I'll come down with a strike team and I will save you. I'm an American with a
The
Ford
maids.
truck and I'll give
It's
you
a,
marijuana. Don't they treat glaucoma with marijuana? Am I wrong?
that is glaucoma, but cataracts aren't glaucoma.
Oh, okay. Can you treat cataracts with marijuana?
No, that has to do with the lens. Let's see here. Intermittent pulls. Let's see here. Nope, it is every single stitch.
That whole maids thing scares the HE. Do you know when I'm older, I would qualify for that because I have lung issues, and if I'm on
You don't even
oxygen, would
have to
they?
be old. They had some like 20 something with Ehlers-Danlos who just had chronic pain, or somebody else who had chemical sensitivity and they couldn't find an apartment
I
that,
heard that one.
like,
Or like my
so
son, he has autism. Are they gonna give him
yeah,
like would they
yep,
offer him
it's
maids?
for developmentally just differently abled folks, and now they've opened it up to kids too, so you don't even have to be an adult for the maid to come clean up after you.
I've always wondered. I this is the crud that I sit around and think about at 2:30 in the morning while I can't sleep.
Now we're catching all of it.
And you know what's so funny? Canada was always my default because I know how to get there. Like I said this last night, because I've been to Maine, you can literally walk into Canada because there's no border on the Maine side because you're out in the middle of the woods.
Right. Well,
So
same with up at the Lake Placid and the going up through the New York State at the tippy bits, not through Buffalo though. And check the thread, bobbin thread tension. Yeah, that was my next thought.
why did I do that?
I just
Come
haven't
on,
taken
Sonic.
apart the that mechanism on this machine because it's a drop-in, and well, let's unscrew the feed jug cover again because that's the only way to get there. Chronic pain blows. Kilroy's neurodivergent. Also, if we had this maid thing where I grew up, I would already be dead. Yeah, that
That's
woman
what
had
I'm saying.
stay in the painted room, latex allergy. Yeah, it.
And like my dad used to always tell me, boy, you better get a good job because you need health insurance. Like I have many health issues. Like they would have offered it to me. I have chronic issues. That's crazy.
Yeah, it. I'm not cool on that, but it's going to be even harder for you guys up to our friends in the north now that Google and Meta isn't going to allow for the link what is it, the linking to news articles. So you're going to be stuck with the CBC and Radio Canada or all the you're really like stuck with what they are feeding you unless you know how to find other options. How do I take this apart?
I'm still trying to figure out who unsubscribed me from to CBN too. But I don't but YouTube does randomly do that. That's not even my conspiracy theory. They someone used to say that to me and I thought they were lying just because they would say things, but it's true.
No, YouTube really does do that sometimes. It's weird.
I thought they were just lying because they didn't want to watch my videos because they were jealous. But they really did get unsubscribed.
No, we had somebody who's not around anymore had YouTube politely unsubscribe them from my channel, and I'm a nobody. Like, why
That's so
bother?
weird to me.
I know. I feel so bad. You guys are stuck with literally what they spoon feed you. Kilroy. I swear, the farthest north I want to go now is Minneapolis. Canada sounds like it's turning into a dumpster fire. Yeah, it is. It has been since the world went crazy.
I'm
It
biased
was
with
almost like
Minneapolis.
Canada was the testing ground for what they want to try to do here.
Minneapolis is an amazing place. I'm biased. I've been there. It's amazing. If I could convince people I know that have to move with me, if I could convince them to move there, I would move there tomorrow.
Yeah, but
But
I'd have to snowboard. I could. No, I don't even want the summer with the giant horse flies and 6 feet of snow. No, you could go to town.
that's
You
the
can have
thing.
it.
Basically, anywhere I move to, I have to take my ex-wife with me. Well, for the next 4 years. And she flat out told me
I'm not made for that kind of weather.
she couldn't handle living. She told me Stockton was too cold.
Oh yeah, not gonna happen. I think it's a 1/100th on fire right now. Canada, I think, is the WEF UN Big Brother testing ground. That's kind of what I was getting. Yeah, you see it too. That's what it feels like. And the way in this country, like, oh, that people are now getting a complaining about that song about the booer. Bo, I'm not gonna the booer. I can't say it right, but I guess it's a super old song from South Africa. Africa is going crazy, or
Crazy,
former
crazy
colonies
right now.
of France are so tired of France like pilfering all their money. Like, what it was it Niger who's got like does all of France's mining, but they have no gold rights. Like,
They
they're
have more rubies than the Wicked Witch of the West.
right, and none of it's theirs. And the way the Wagner group has come in, that Africa is basically a proxy supply group for Russia right now.
Well, the Russians, we go in with the CIA. The Russians come in with full forces. We send like 10 people. The Russians literally send whole armies. And
Well, that's how you
I
have to
saw
protect all that stuff. You can't just send that many rubies unguarded.
I saw this thing where now the North Koreans are making weapons for the Russians now.
Oh, that wouldn't surprise me. Let's see here, Killer. Good luck getting Americans to sign on what's happening in Canada. Canadians are a lot more willing to roll over. I think it depends on where you are and who you talk to. Like, I don't think any of us would be like,
No, I
but the same
agree.
people, the same Americans are the ones who are like, yes, let me just pay with my eyeballs and be hooked up to the network. Let me just pay with my chip in my hands. Like, there are
Not never, not never, not my improper English, not never will you
not no
ever
how
put a
not
chip.
never. I do not consent.
No, and they can put a chip in my cold dead corpse.
Yeah,
All they want. And I'm not
not
even a
before.
biblia. I'm not even a biblia kind of guy. You're not putting a chip in the back of my hand. I'm not a biblia. Because all my Bible friends are freaking out. That's why when I saw that, I'm like, oh, I'm not going on Facebook today. And then I went on Facebook. And all my like the people I grew up with, they're like posting that. They're saying, "See, I was right. I was right the whole time." So no more Facebook for sewing today.
Yeah. Oh, Allie, you saw the whole convoy thing unfold as it happened, and showed the they never showed the mayor let them in. It was like he was like a plain faced psycho. Oh, jeepers.
It's been a long time since I've gotten this far on Sonic. That's so funny. When since it's story time in 1990, I was Georgie, the real life Georgie Porgy. Oh, I'm about to die. And I got mono nucleosis. And I was quarantined in my house for 3 full months.
You must
From
have been really sick.
My glands swelled up so much to the point where my glands they completely I look like a swallow. My neck completely swelled up. It was bad. I got a severe case of mono. I was at home for 4 months, quarantined from school and everything. But I became obsessed with my Sega, and that is when my parents bought me a PlayStation. And I almost failed 10th grade because of my PlayStation. I'll never forget
Let's
my football coach telling me, "You almost failed high school because of a video game." Oh, that'll stick with me for the rest of my life. He was so mad at me.
Oh, Allie says Canadians didn't want the hammer to drop on them, losing human rights. No money, you don't eat, no warmth, you freeze. They did that to 200 people. Yeah. When I was hearing Viva Fry interview folks who'd come from former USSR USSR Soviet bloc countries who were like, we left Poland or Czechoslovakia to come here in hope of a better life, and we see Canada turning into what we left. Where are we gonna go? Like, that's heartbreaking.
I think that's the hopeless feeling for a lot of Americans because Canada was always our default. If they're going down, we're screwed.
Oh yeah, yep. There's
Excuse
nowhere to
me.
run to.
Yeah, exactly. That's like
Um, oh,
with my
you never
ethics.
use Facebook. Yeah,
I'll
we're
tell you honestly, Kilroy, Facebook has affected my life in a lot of ways. Bad in a lot of bad ways too. Every ex-girlfriend I've ever had instantly has access to me. Every bad decision I've ever made has instant access to me. You literally just have to know the person's last name or what they call themselves.
yeah.
I go on now. I'm to the point where I post once every 6 months just to remind people that I'm alive, a responsible parent, and still doing what I'm supposed to do. I
Yeah, that's
literally post pictures of me and my son to show people like I haven't changed. I'm still raising my kid by myself. Go stuff
right.
yourself. Oh, whoops. Sonic is giving me a dirty look because I didn't pause the game.
All right, I think I'm gonna.
I would post that one. If I got one of those, I would post that one. I have some pirates on my friends list. That would be on the greatest hits list. No, I'm a nice guy, so every like I'm a nice guy. We'll break up for some pretentious reason, and somebody will get into a relationship, get thrown through a window, and they're like, "Oh, William isn't that bad."
Oh, gee, wow, your winners, or
My
they didn't pick winners after you.
it happens because I'm nice and I'm like things just don't end violently with me. They don't. I'm friends with my ex-wife and we sued each other for 4 years off and on.
Well, you have to. It helps to be cordial when there's like small humans involved, because it's better than being assholes. At
I just
least
don't.
in front of them.
You know what? Even I diffused her the other day because we were talking about my son and she went off and she was trying to blame me about something. I stopped the conversation. I was like, "What's wrong?" And she told me. Let me do
Right,
it.
because usually people, it's not like the acute situation, it's something else they're like stewing over
Yeah.
at the time.
I call it getting chippy. My mom does it too. Like she'll start snipping at me, and I ask her flat out, "What's the real issue, bro? Like, what's
Right.
going
Or
on?"
are you just hungry? Do you need food?
Big time. Oh, where I'm from, hangry is real. I get hypoglycemic without food. I'm man enough to admit, like I get weird without food.
Oh,
Let me get my phone. Canada did go fascist for a bit there. Pure BS. They closed the border. They said yet 1.5 kilometer away, the Detroit Tunnel and the scenario and Sarnia 3 hours away. They never closed the border. Emergency measures BS. They do
that's
the same thing in America. They do the same thing. They'll say one thing and do another.
yeah.
Like I always found it was weird. Whenever the president comes to LA, they say they land at one place, but they really land at another place.
Well,
And if
that's
you
probably
drive in the
security reasons.
But if you drive it, I have pictures of Air Force One from the highway. I pulled over and took pictures of it with a Nikon. It was just weird to me that Barack Obama was that close to me.
Yeah. Oh, we started off good, and then are we good? Did I just get something stuck? All right, fingers crossed. We might be done with trouble. No, I don't want us to talk too early. It's always time for another disaster to happen.
Just like in sports, don't talk trash until you score or you win.
Yeah. Yeah, not getting cocky. Not like the women's soccer, U.S. soccer team who got kicked out on the first round to, what was it, Sweden or whatever.
You know what's really funny? I usually watch all of that, and I did not watch this year. I watch women's sports, men's sports. I usually watch it. I did not watch one. In Canada, by emergency measures, they could slow lethal dose. You could take or take you into custody
Yeah,
and slow kill you in the cold with food.
without food.
Oh,
Yeah,
without food. I'm blind.
that's crazy. Oh, now I'm making
Not
interesting.
even. Do you know in America it's kind of illegal to kill yourself because if you do, they're gonna and you don't successfully do it, they put
Right,
you on
then
a
you
hold.
get in trouble, right?
You put you on a hold. You go to psychiatric care. Like,
Right, and that's almost worse. Like I, the people who are plead the insanity defense don't realize that it's better to be in jail because you have a time limit
yep,
generally than
yep.
to be in a hospital where you're at their discretion. Like, no,
And
thank
they can
you.
say no. You need another year here.
Right, you've not been fully rehabilitated.
I actually work at a weird outreach, and we tell people that because, like in LA, there's a high probability that certain people will go to jail, and we tell them like, do not claim insanity, do not like
Right, yeah.
say you're this or that, or you need protective custody because you'll be labeled for life, like unless you really do.
Right. That also goes back to like, don't cry wolf, kids.
Oh yeah, and in modern times, if you claim you need to go to a medical pod or something, they give you a scan, and they can tell real quick if you do or you don't. And they have doctors like it's the whole system has changed because they spend billions to incarcerate people rather than
Right.
rehabilitate them here.
Let's see here. Killer says when Trump was touring all those tiny places in Pennsylvania trying to appeal to his base, I was like, huh, I'm 3 miles from the president right now. Oh, right, because he was in Erie this week before he got the next wave of craziness.
Well,
Oh,
even back in the day when he was doing his whistle stop tours, he was always on the East Coast. He never came to the West. You didn't see live from Portland, Oregon, or live
no,
from
yeah, that's
Seattle.
not it. That's not wasn't his base. No, but I think I don't care for either of the mono parties right now. But the weaponization of the judicial system is really frightening because just as a matter of point and principle.
I'm gonna get hosed for saying this, but I hope Pence beats all of them out.
I don't. He's no. Why?
I
Why
like
do you
Mike
need
Pence.
another Republican geezer? I think I'd.
But
Hey,
he's of sound mind and body, even though he calls his wife mother, and it's so creepy. Keeps me up at night. That's just
no,
creepy.
I don't think he can do it.
He can't sit in a room with a woman unless his wife is there.
Well, good job for having morals, but I don't think it's gonna help him.
But that's on some Islam level of like, oh, temptation. Like, how about not touching people? How about
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
Being able to be in a room and still not be a creep, you know?
Oh, Ellie, you even been closer to presidents all the way back to Carter. That is so impressive. Yeah, this that is the new political norm in the U.S. Yeah, it feels like it is the normal, and I makes me very uncomfortable. I don't.
I actually know someone that was in the Reagan honor guard. Um, oh, Reggie, like I used to ride bikes with him, but he's too old to ride bikes now. But he was a lifelong Republican, and he was an African American gentleman. I've been through microfilm archives of newspapers back in the mid 1800s. It's always been like this. Okay, I'm so glad you said that. A long time ago, I asked my dad, like, how are the 1950s? He said, bro, that was one of the worst eras in human history. He would always say, it's not like the happy days. And that stuck with me. Like we have these certain narratives about history, but we've always been fighting each other.
Yeah,
It's worse to the day in 1840s. I agree, though. I think the human, like, we've always slowly been trying to annihilate each other or one up each other or something.
yeah. Oh, it looks like I've got crocheted chain on the back. That's interesting. I've never seen this before.
What kind of what kind of bird is outside your window?
That's a blue jay.
Oh, I forgot about this chair. It reclines. I'm
Yep,
taking the day off.
Jay's.
Sewing is taking the day off.
That's fine. In the 1950s, the commie threat alarmist was so prevalent and very real and scary. Yeah, it kind of feels like we're reliving the preamble to World War One. Is
Yes, or
how
the
I
reds
feel.
under your beds. We are like do you know that's why propaganda and rhetoric is dangerous, and there are people on all sides that are pushing hardcore propaganda, and I'm like, dude, do you guys not realize how this is gonna end?
Yeah, we're all gonna get screwed.
And it's always, unless you're sitting in a billion-dollar bunker that they built 40 years ago and they knew this was gonna happen.
Yeah,
We're all the little guy.
yep. No bueno.
This is the most comfortable I've been on the stream in a while.
No good.
Like, I used to stream with my lazy boy, but there was one stream where I nodded off and people thought that I was on drugs and not tired. I was
Oops.
tired. I'll take reds under my beds. Free smokes, hell yeah. It's never really been the same, but similar to so many bad times in the past. I think that's the thing because things are just different. Oh,
Yeah,
they
we
have
are.
new
We've got
features.
technology, and we hear more faster, and things are smaller, and we can travel. Yeah, it's. Oh, you've got new bunkers even in Canada. How lucky you!
I think it's strange. Oh, excuse me. Like all I follow news around the world and I think it's weird like I'll see breaking news in India as it's happening.
Oh yeah, that train crash in Pakistan.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. I watched it. I
Ugh.
watched all the debauchery and all the craziness and they just turned the camera on.
Yeah, it sure is something.
Is it can politically incorrect to wear glasses inside? Sunglasses? Is it rude?
Um, no, I don't. Depends on context, and I don't know. There's enough medical conditions that, or enough stoners who are like, I just don't want you to see my eyeballs.
Oh, I'm probably gonna have to wear a mask. Where's my mask? I have a box of all the masks I made over the past, well, during the pandemic.
Let's see here, Killer Ray. The thing about the people who build the bunkers is they are literally addicted to attention. If they go into bunkers, they won't have their attention anymore. Whereas it's us, and they know it. I wear shades inside, makes me feel like the Blues Brothers.
Exactly.
Except for that dumb guy who I was telling about like weeks ago, who built that bunker for like 80 people with only 4 bathrooms. Like, what the fuck are you thinking?
He wants the apocalypse on the outside and on the inside.
Seriously, you could. I don't care how much toilet paper you have. You're gonna be shitting in buckets
Yeah, and
waiting.
unless it's like a jailhouse style bathroom where it's like one big room with just 15 showers on the wall. There's no way that's feasible, you know.
No,
Four bathrooms with 80 people, you got to be kidding me.
no.
My Isaiah and I have our own bathroom, and I don't know how. Like, I don't think I could live in a place where him and I had to share the same bathroom
Right.
because he hangs out in his bathroom. Because
Yeah, that's where the cool kids hang out.
well, when I was a kid, it was Where's Waldo and Highlights magazine, and now it's your cell phone or your tablet or your computer. You know,
Here, you know. Oh,
YouTube.
oh, I thought I was gonna get so much. I always thought I was gonna be so close to being done with this project, and then I've been thwarted.
Around here, people build bunkers, but I'm like, what if something happened and you wake up and your bunker's in the ocean?
Right, or you have an earthquake and your bunker just got sheared in half.
Or worse, what if you fell like unimaginable fathoms into the earth? That's the stuff that keeps me up at night. Like I'm good. I'm good. I'll be on the top, on the surface with the normies. Let's see. All the
Um,
decommissioned ones in Switzerland is the posh, trendy one to have. People do
ooh.
that with old army bases, but old army bases are like moldy and I still would buy one just for the space. Like, who am I kidding? I would love to have that much space. Like having
Yeah.
a
Oh,
like
like that lady who had her sewing shed delivered.
you sent me that. You sent
I
me that.
did.
Holy cow!
I was like,
I'm
that's
like,
like as big as my house.
so you can buy those are mini houses. You can buy those from Lowe's and Home Depot, pre-made. Um, and those I don't know about that one, but they have upstairs and downstairs. I was thinking about buying one or buying two. Like Isaiah gets one and I get one. Like just buy.
Right.
Like back when I was having mega problems with my neighbor and I was thinking about moving, I was thinking about buying a property and just putting two of those on and being like, all right, I live over here, you live over there, we'll meet in the kitchen.
Yes. Oh, I know. Kilroy highlights top secret adventures were so much fun. You can
Oh,
build
the
bunkers for
greatest.
the region. Yeah, because they need to be able to handle the weather. And Kilroy, you'd get terribly sick living in an old army bunker. Here in Amish country, the Amish will literally build you a shed to your spec and deliver it. Yes. Well, now in the town next door over, they're talking about having a 3D built-in community for because housing's at a premium when you live in a valley.
Yeah, but good luck when the weather comes.
Yeah, especially because what now Biden's trying to go after air conditioners because of the freon or whatever. Just like
Don't tip it sideways. You'll be fine. Don't
yeah,
don't drink the stuff in the back. It's not that complicated.
carbon cartridge system and a scrubber. Ooh, that would work. Oh, and clean the walls, right? Yes. If your Geiger counter goes off, inside, then maybe you need to rethink your housing accommodations.
Do you know when you sent me that video, I was thinking I'd probably need two of those because I have so much junk.
I fell in love with those tiny houses a few years ago. I love the idea of a tiny house, but I wouldn't be able to hula hoop inside.
I would need a couple. I like the idea. Like, I want a tiny house just so like I could have a giant garage. I don't know. I would want a tiny house, but it would have to be well built. Like, I know someone that built one in the back of a trailer, and they're just basically living in a tiny shed.
Yeah.
Like you would in Tokyo. Like when I see those weird, like, oh, come
Oh,
stay in this
those
capsule.
claustrophobic hotel rooms.
That's just anxiety. That I could not sleep in a bunk with Wi-Fi. I would have an anxiety attack. So I would need something the size of this, and then another room the size of this to be able to walk out of this room.
Oh, let's see here. Bailey's laughing at me again. I'm sure there are places here in Canada that have Labradorite, the whole rock formation. It will set off the radiation counters big time. Oh, interesting. I didn't know Labradorite did that. I love that rock. Lorray says, you just want to do what I do and live in a warehouse like MacGyver.
Yes.
Yes, I would take
Yes.
giant,
Yes.
a giant place to train where I can have my set of stall bars. I dream of a set of those.
I want like something, yes, I want something like my shop where I can literally pull my truck in and still have 15 to 30 feet of space in every direction. And I pull my truck in the middle of the bay and it's huge.
Oh,
But that's the American in me because I know Kilroy doesn't believe me. I was a minimalist throughout my entire 20s.
right, you're just
So,
making up now. The unforeseen, well, foreseen, unforeseen circumstances and
exactly.
space. You're like, and
I'm a classic hoarder. I had two family members pass away within a 2.5, 3 year period.
yeah, that is one of the ways that gets started.
And it wasn't one, it was literally they both owned a ton of stuff. Both of them. My grandma had 99 years of stuff in her house.
About 99 years of stuff.
I'm still mad I didn't take the hutch out of her house, but like I didn't have any help, and that thing was it was an old school China cabinet hutch.
Ooh, I like me one of them.
It was like 11 feet high. It was huge.
And an old fashioned vanity table with a mirror and a place to sit and store my products. Oh, a vanity table.
I just like having the idea of lots of space for projects and no walls or doors to pull things in and out of.
Right.
Exactly. That's
I would
why
love
in my shop
shelving though, because I like to see what I have or I forget and then overbuy.
I went crazy building shelving. It was so much fun. I built it around the door, around any space I could along the walls. I built shelving.
Yeah, I'll take it. Shelf space for storage is good.
Or having
Sewing at
walls
home
on
is
wheels.
spectacular. Oh,
I just reconfigured my space walls whenever I want.
yeah, that sounds good.
Oh, I was thinking about that. I was thinking about moving into a warehouse. There's, so much to the point where I've been looking it up, and it's literally like I could get a renter and live there for free, basically.
Right?
And then I pitched it to Isaiah, and he's like, "Heck yeah!"
So let's just do it, kid.
Well, he likes the fact that he can walk in the garage and find any tool. Like he'll go on YouTube, and he's like, "Oh, I need this and this," and I'm like, "Open the garage door. It's on the other side on the rollaway."
Oh, that's nice. Yeah. It's good that he's old enough now to be slightly more self sufficient.
I love it. I love it. But I have to stop myself though sometimes because he's like, "Can I get a screwdriver?" And I'm like, "Sure." And then I follow him because I want to know what he's using
Which
the
one is taking?
screwdriver.
These are not. It's not like there's like the sewing screwdriver where you have to be like those. Don't you can't cut those paper with those scissors.
I still will never understand why my dad would freak out about these stupid work titanium scissors. And then when he passed away, I looked at him and I'm like, these aren't even special. They're like, I don't know why he was so like we could not do anything that was not that was not work related with them. Couldn't cut
Wow,
paper with them. Couldn't cut fabric. Like
what did they cut?
I don't know. I want to go grab there one day. I'm gonna go grab them. Like because
But I
I.
actually I take that back because when I was looking at sewing fireproof clothing for when I get to spin fire again, they do have special shears for cutting Kevlar because it's so tough.
It is, and it's because it's a gajillion layers,
Right.
and so even when you're cutting, the fabric is tearing in different directions.
Yeah, so they have to be stupid sharp.
I've actually cut Kevlar, those stupid leg guards that we have at my job. Like somebody ordered one for somebody who's like 9 feet tall.
Oh, jeepers. Oh, there goes my battery. Did it? Yeah, we're.
Yeah, because you're stuck.
Yeah, okay. Well, let me just.
Oh man, I can't believe I pulled up
Oh no,
my
did I put
shirt.
you on block? No, that was funny. Oh, I did, haha. I'm on the run. There. I'm just futzing around sewing sequins for a few minutes because I needed a break from troubleshooting.
I know the feeling.
Because Ailey helped me fix two problems, and then I found a third one that I didn't know was going to be a problem until I fixed the other two. Good
I
times. Good times.
I'm all stoked. I got really far on Sonic. Every once in a while, I have to take a break from sewing because I don't want to get burnt out on my love. Like the one, like
So,
I saw a video of a man where his wife or girlfriend unplugged his video game and he freaked out. And like she's like, "What is wrong with you?" And he looked her in the eye, and he's like, "It's all I have." It hurt my feelings because he was a grown 40-something-year-old man being like, "Look, bro, I go to work and I deal with you. This is all I have." And I feel like that with my sewing, so I don't want to ruin
well, that
it.
doesn't say much for his relationship, though, either.
He was so sincere that I was like, "Bro, like I'll take you for waffles. Do you
Right?
need a bro session?" Like
Do we need to go to the smoking section?
and their apartment was bare too. So I wonder how many people spend like 2 paychecks on a PS2 and just live off of it, you know?
Yeah, maybe so. I don't. Yeah.
It was a very viral video. Some of those that's why I stopped going on Twitter because some of those videos I'm like, oh, you're ruining my life. Like that got me. That really got me because that guy like and it was presented as like this was supposed to be funny and it's not because we found out this guy is real.
Right, yeah, right. Just like people have been trying to. I hope that she's probably like hiding off the radar. That the airplane lady who thought that guy in the green hoodie was the alien who had that breakdown. She must
Every
be like
horny
mortified and like hiding somewhere. Hopefully, she didn't. There, she's okay.
I hope she's okay because every weirdo on earth is looking for her just because she was attractive. Like I hope she's okay.
Yeah.
This person on Twitter that I follow. Every day since then, he's posted her picture and been like, "Day blah blah blah," and we still have not found her.
Oh, jeepers. Yeah, don't stalk her.
Every
That's.
day. And now there's this big thing in the I don't get laid world where people like they will put her as her profile picture or like
Oh,
she's a total like wink wink for the incels now.
oh, that's. Oh, poor
Oh, I
human.
just got it. Yeah, yeah. She's like so because the other day I thought about it, I was like, bro, I would hide too because like people are just because she's good looking now they like she's a sex symbol for every weirdo on Twitter.
Yeah.
It's so weird. The internet is strange place.
Yeah. And yeah, she doesn't need that, whatever happened that day. Oh, let's see here. Yeah, Killer, you gotta go to the IHOP or Denny's every Saturday morning or something. Get something going in your life. Yeah, whoa, that did sound toxic. And I worked with people who drove crappy 30-year-old cars and lived in Roach Motel apartments but had $4,000 computers. Well, I guess you gotta prioritize what's important.
You know, I'm quoting Notorious B.I.G. What did he say? Never drive your $100,000 car to your apartment.
Yeah,
Drive your Honda Accord to your house. You
right,
know, like he was like, I'd rather own a crappy car and a big house than have a nice car and no house.
right.
I've
I'm just glad
always
my car's paid off.
That's why I up until I inherited my flex, I only bought used cars. Only because I could smoke in them. But I no longer smoke nicotine, but I only bought used cars for that very reason.
Now we've just been good to the car that's almost 20 years old.
That's another. I gotta buy a new car. I am not looking forward to it. I have four
Yes,
cars sitting in front of my house right now.
it is true. Mo money, no problems. Allie, I heard clunking around in the garage was a little bunny after the weeds in the waistband.
Aww. I just want something reliable. Here's the problem. Like, I might buy a Subaru,
It's a
but
great car.
my ex-wife owns two of them, and she's not happy with her life. I'm kidding.
Really?
She's just miserable. Yeah, she does. She has two.
Well, no. I mean, I may or may not also not two, but mine's been very good to me. His
She
just barely.
has she has one, and her husband has one, but everything's in her name because she's the. It's a long story.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah,
Says the guy. I own a ton of stuff, and half of it's in my name. That's not a dig. That is not a dig at all. Not at all. Now I have that song stuck in my head. I've got everything in my mother's name, but I'm hood rich. Da 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 da.
oh, I don't know this
That
one.
is so 1998 or nine.
That yeah, I wouldn't. I'm glad I have the car I have, and I'm just gonna keep it for as long as I can because I'm not interested in. I don't want a car that's got a computer, more computer than the car it already does have. The same with I don't want another sewing machine that has a USB port. No thanks.
And recently, I have a friend because I'm still tapped into the degenerate gambler world. Somebody that I met at a casino that actually lives in the same town as me. That's how we made the connection because we laughed that we drove 300 something miles to meet each other and we live in the same town. He recently bought a car and he was going on one of his degenerate gambling trips and he gets an alert that his car might be stolen because it's not doing the normal thing.
Yeah, no thanks.
Sorry. And because he wanted a flashy rapper beamer freaking, 50, 60, $70,000 car, it's like it sent him a message like, alert, we're going to report your car stolen because this is unusual activity. And he's like, I'm going to Vegas.
Killer Ray says now I have Big Papa stuck in their head. Ellie hates modern cars. They all track you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's that too.
I know I'm looking at my truck and pointing like you guys can see it. I know I'm not being tracked in my old clunker Ford 88
No, not unless
F-150.
somebody put one of those like watch battery size trackers on it.
Air tags do scare me.
Yeah, no
Those
thanks.
those air tags, they
AirPods,
scare
oh no, those are the ear ones. But yeah,
because you could just slip one somewhere and like someone like me would never know because I don't even know what they look like.
right. And this stuff is so little these days. New cars are loaded with standard spyware. Yeah, I. That's why I would like another like smartwatch for a pedometer, but I'm like, I don't want to be tracked. It's enough my phone tracks me. Like all the websites on the computer of like, we'd like to know your location. I'm like, no. Why do you need to know this much information about me?
That does trip me out. It depend. I do hit allow. I won't even lie. Like I'm trying to think if I don't. Like,
I always hit no. You are not allowed.
does it completely stop what you're doing? Apple
Oh,
completely stops what you're doing.
not on not on my no, but I can't speak to Macs. On my PC it doesn't. I just say block and it's like, okay, fine. You're like, accept all cookies. I'm like, no, let me choose which ones are absolutely necessary. You don't need I don't want all your cookies.
That's
And
why I
not even
think.
chocolate chip.
That's why I think iPhones are evil because they see, but they got exposed a couple updates ago because they had the right to go through your pictures and call the cops on you. And
Yeah,
someone read that and was like, "Are you crazy?"
yeah, no, you need a search warrant for shit like that. You are not allowed.
And their justification was, "But don't you want a safer society?" And people were like,
No,
"Haven't you read a effing book in your life? We've seen this movie."
right. We've seen, yeah, Blade Runner, no thank you.
Oh, it's crazy.
1984 Animal World, no thank you. We're not interested.
Apple is off its rocks. Like they're off their rocker.
Yeah, that is so crazy. Oh, I have been such a terrible YouTuber. We're gonna run for a little bit longer, but I appreciate everybody if you do the likey things. Thank you to the 26 people who are hanging out over on the Rumbles.
Awesome.
Let's see
I
here.
need to start streaming on Rumble. I'm gonna have a
Just
Rumble stream.
simulcast it. We'll hit me up early and we'll just figure it out. Let's see here. Kilroy, that's kind of why I want to move to a place where I can just use an e-bike. I can build an e-bike myself and have zero spyware on it. Yes, you come to my town. If Ellie says if you don't accept the updates to the Tesla, your car won't work. Yeah, I'm not a
What?
Tesla.
That's I would never own. I'm the kind of person where if I had I would never own a motorcycle I was scared to crash or a car that I was scared to crash. Like I would not want something that fancy that I was
No,
scared to crash my car.
and it's just transitioning where the pollution is from, or the people complaining where it was so hot and their cars weren't working. What the one guy was, he couldn't charge it from the electric. He had to get a gas generator to charge his Tesla. Like I don't, I'm sensing a problem here.
Ugh,
It just we're like in
e-bikes have
clown
tracking stuff
world.
too. Do you know what's so weird? This whole e-bike thing is so weird to me because in my town, all over LA, there's like e-bike stations, but you'll see one just parked in the middle of the street.
Uh,
Did they run out of battery and just walk away from it?
I guess.
It's just so weird. I don't get it. I'm such a dinosaur.
Yeah, I think Allie, that's why Killer wants to build their own e-bike without any of the tracking stuff. And they want a car I can just fix myself. I wish I was more knew more. I guess I can still learn, but
My Ford F-150, I could take that thing apart and put it back together. That's why I prefer the older vehicles.
I know mine still needs to be like plugged into for the diagnostics sometime, so it's old enough and new enough that we're just on the cusp.
But I have a 2000 TARDIS blue, 2001, 2002 F-150 that's sitting in front of my house as a paperweight because
Right.
I bought a lemon, so it's not all rainbows and blowjobs.
No, not always.
I used to say that all the time and I took it out of my vocabulary. I'm glad you laughed. Not everyone used to laugh when I would say that. I used to say that for everything. I'm actually famous for saying that,
Oh,
but I
gee.
stopped saying it.
No, I'm here for the giggle, the lols at the circus. We
Now,
gotta laugh.
now I just say life's not all hands and hug shakes. If you ever hear me say that, that's what I say to. That's my cleaned up version I say to my son.
Yeah, that's an 18-year-old and older joke.
Someone very famously, actually, we're from Florida. I heard that I was a young buck. I was like 18 or 19, and I was like, I'm stealing that. I am stealing that saying.
Yeah, it happens. I
Oh
do
man,
lots of funny
tomorrow's the
phrases.
first day of school. I'm gonna be crying. I'm gonna be in tears.
Right. Yeah, because you have to be awake and caffeinated and presentable. Cartwheels.
And we're gonna do one more year of homeschooling, and I'm my kid's teacher, so I have to like. But really, he just reads the curriculum because he's
Right.
he's he's a good kid. He's such a
Right.
good
You
kid.
just need to like check in, like, did the work actually get done?
Exactly, and just he gets, and I do too. I live by, hey, look, there's a squirrel. Like that's my middle name, so he gets easily distracted. I do too. And plus, in his room, he has two TVs, a PlayStation 2, his Oculus. I make him sit in the living room when he does his
Right, where there's
schoolwork
no funness.
because he could
But
lie
that's
to
good
me
too,
and
because you should separate work from sleep and restful things.
yeah, and like his room is his happy place, and like you know,
Yeah, you can't have that much. That's too much of a distraction.
and so much to the point where he's willing to lie to me about it. Like I'm not
Mm,
okay with that.
yeah,
Like, if you're gonna lie to me about something, nah, bro, you can't be in the same room. Like, if you can hang, I have a rule. Like, if you can hang, I will leave you alone. But if you can't, we have to start taking steps to do something
yeah.
about
Hillary, when I was a kid, the first day of school was always after Labor Day. I know I was taught same.
that. They do it. So in the way that they explain it away is that the kids get 90 times more days off than we did back in the day.
Mm,
And really, in California, what happens is we still have furlough days. It never went away.
mm-hmm.
Where our teachers literally take days off in rotation because
Mm,
they can't afford to pay the teachers, or they'll just say like every Friday is a half day or every Monday is a half day. They do that at every school now, even the high schools.
oh, that is ridiculous.
We still have, I wouldn't even know the word furlough exists if it wasn't for the whole stupid controversy like 6 or 7 years ago. And
Right,
now I'm the guy standing around like, hey, it never went away, guys. So our
right.
school system's just, it's fracked. So they get
Yeah,
less of a summer, and then they get like a month and a half off for Christmas. It's something insane.
yeah. What? Just start later. You don't need that much time off at the
And I know why they
major
do it,
holidays.
because they want to do it to cover all religious holidays from Ramadan all the way to Yom Kippur to Christmas.
Hanukkah, Yom Kippur is in the autumn
I didn't
time.
know that one. Thank you. Hanukkah, they're all around the same time of year. And so
That
because
one's
of that,
Hanukkah.
because I went to a school board meeting and and all these people were mad about critical race theory. They thought I was going to curse them out. I walked up there. I was like, look, how come you guys don't give our kids 3 months of summer? Every person in the room was like, oh, thank gosh, this guy isn't here to fight us. Like every single one of the board members. And they sat there and they talked to me because I wasn't trying to fight them about CRT. I legitimately want to know. And now I know because the kids get more days off. And I said, thank you. And I walked out.
Yeah.
But it's dumb. It's dumb. Our kids get a ton of days off and they spend more times with their parents,
Yeah, they and
which is less interaction time with each other, which is when you learn the hierarchy of life, you
right, your
know?
social skills, your interactions, you get your picking out of the way.
That's why I'm glad that my ex-wife is surrounded by children because he has that experience. I only have one child, which is him.
Right.
But she comes from a younger family. I have an old family. My mic is just, oh man, my mic has real ED. Poor guy.
Oh,
Look, you're just snagging. Oh, poor guy. You hung strong for so long. You hung tough. Oh,
does
it's
your
sad.
mic move low? Does it wobble to and fro?
It's because this microphone's heavy too. Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go to Guitar Center, quit being a cheap ass. I'm gonna have to go in my rafters first though, because I have
You
like
might have one.
I have so much stuff. Like if like when people will say like when people talk trash to me and they hate me, I like a lot of it I know it's because they're jealous because I have so much stuff and I don't blame them. I'd hate me too.
Oh,
I'm like
well,
looking at my rafters.
should we have one last funny comp topic before we close out the show?
Yeah.
The Mr. Beast suing his business partner over the crappy raw beast burgers. Because I guess he was using some third party who, where was I seeing this individual or this company had worked with other people? Like, sounds like they've been bad news for a while, and they were using local kitchens as ghost kitchens rather than having their own brick and mortar restaurants, and
Mm.
their quality control was a little left a little to be desired. Like the burger tartare, you could kind of get away with maybe if you like that stuff, but the
Ew.
raw chicken was a hard pass.
Oh, that's just like I tell my son there's no such thing as medium rare chicken. Cook it all the way through. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh. Oh.
yeah.
I've got food poisoning before, so anything like that literally gives me the shivers because I've had real food poisoning.
Right. You remember the time on the toilet when you were like, where goes the bucket and where
Yeah,
do I put
exactly. It traumatized me enough where I check my food now. Like it, I oh.
it?
Do you know the problem is like? Do you think because these people are people of notoriety, everything they do is more highlighted?
I think so too. The way Logan, was it Jake or Logan who got his Danny kicked by Dan? Oh, the MMA fighter. Oh no, Logan K. What was the fight? No, Logan won that fight. How does
The
he
rest you talking
win
about the
in
wrestling or
boxing matches?
the boxing or the WWE?
No, he just fought a WWE fighter in a boxing match.
He and he's in one of those weird wrestling things. And the funny thing is I watch a lot of wrestling like commentary, but these are from like Jim Cornette, like the old guys from the 80s.
Mhm.
They actually respect him because he knows how to act. I cannot tell the difference between him and his brother.
Right. Yeah, they look this. I don't pay attention to them enough, other than like
And
random highlights.
it happens with my older brother who's 7 years older than me. People think I'm him. When I wear my glasses around town, people think I'm him. And they'll be like, oh, thank you for your service. You were in the Air Force. And I'm like, oh, crud. What do I say? They think I'm my brother. Like, there was one woman who was elderly. My mom grabbed my hand and she was like, just shine her on, bro. Like, she's literally like dementia. Just
Yeah,
tell her you're Donald. Just tell her you're Donald.
it's you're not gonna win at this fight.
Yeah.
Oh, Killer, do you mean the Logan brothers going destitute, or Mr. Beast and that business partner? I don't. I'm not a Mr. Beast. I'm not in the right age set. I'm not a 12 to 20-year-old boy.
It's just they like they've kind of popped in the radar. The Twitter world, the people who are considered now, it's weird because it's people that you would never know. You would literally have to go to their channel.
Hmm.
Like recently, there's a shot of Tom Cruise next to some Twitch streamer or some famous YouTuber or something. The crowd was freaking out, and Tom Cruise was like, I'm Tom Cruise. Who is this person? Tom Cruise had no idea who this person was, but this person is considered famous, by today's standards.
Yeah. Oh, Killer always gets their steak well done because of my bout with food poisoning. Zero chances fair. And yeah, F them both, the Logan brothers and the Mr. Beast people.
I'll tell you, as somebody who lived in Hollywood, California, they got kicked out of Hollywood, and you really have to try hard. Like, they literally got kicked out of every neighborhood in Hollywood because they were on the news all the time when they first moved here. Because Hollywood is actually really quiet and sleepy.
Right, because it's where people try to go to escape.
Right, and it's where really, 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 really rich people go to move to the hills and retire. It's really quiet up there, actually. You will be if you sit on a hill in Hollywood, it's so quiet compared to anything else in LA, and they destroyed that piece. So they were literally banned from Hollywood. And that's the only reason I even knew they existed, is because they kept on saying these brothers, these brothers, these brothers, and I was like, I have no idea who these people are.
Given where were they from? Ohio,
Minnesota,
or
Minnesota.
okay, whatever, Midwest. Yeah.
The only reason I say that is because where I live, we make fun of people. We say, "Oh, you're from Minnesota. You think you're a Viking? You think you're a Viking?" Like we literally make fun of people from Minnesota. That it's a weird California thing.
A whole bunch of them did used to be Vikings. Let's see here,
Well, it's
Alex
like,
says. Oh, go
oh,
ahead.
sorry. It's every 6'4" dude from Minnesota claims to have pure Norse roots. Bro, you're from Minnesota. Get over it, you know.
Well, okay. Branding has killed actual hard work and creativity. Yeah, yeah. I think that's why I'm not a label snob.
No,
I
not
prefer
either.
to wear things that don't have overt branding and labels on it.
Says the guy wearing an Obey shirt. I'm a label whore. I'll admit it. But I don't wear Gucci or anything like that. I would feel weird wearing slave clothes like that. And when I say slave clothes, I mean made by slaves. We know they're made by slaves.
Well, so are the Adidas and the Nikes.
Don't wear those either. Yeah. And I only buy the only pair of Nikes that I own, I've only bought at thrift stores because I always wanted to own a pair of Nike Cortez, like the 80s gangsters.
I'm sure there are more Nikes in Newfoundland.
And I have my Nike skate shoes, but again, I bought those at a thrift store.
I don't buy sneakers at the thrift store. I just buy pretty shoes. I like my sneakers new.
I thrash. Like, I went when I got divorced, I went through this really weird phase where I tried to start skating again. I wasn't even trying to relive my youth. I just started skating again to stay healthy.
Yep,
And I'm talking about skateboarding. So I bought
right.
like I would go to thrift stores and buy shoes that were good for skateboarding in. Because you
Yeah,
thrash shoes when you skateboard. And I was a
yeah.
30-something-year-old man.
Well, who is it? Tony Hawk still skates, and he's our age.
I would love to be his neighbor. He always turns his neighborhood into a skate park. Like, I'm down. I got my board and my pads ready, Tony. Like
Yeah,
I
bro.
have the I have the full helmet, the elbow pads, everything.
And the knee pads. I know,
Oh yeah.
Kilroy, you've got ginormous feet, so yeah, finding shoes at thrift stores is probably not super easy. It helps to have only a size 6 foot. Alley.
Well,
Well, there's Viking Settlement. Ooh, Lawns Al
I
Meadows.
know.
Meadows.
It's just it's a trope because when the inception of the internet, we found out that all like the big dudes, there's there's a biker gang of people that wear like Odin as a patch. They get
Yeah.
It's a Minnesota Midwest thing, you know.
I think it's so fascinating how Iceland really their mythos really plays on how people are because they have an oddly high percentage of congenital dwarfism and then folks like almost 7 feet tall.
That's so weird to me. That's like literally different ends of the spectrum. That's so weird.
Exactly. I know he ate it. We'll have dry. I'm almost done here, Freya Fruppers. You'll have more food in a minute. I'm getting
I had
devoured.
I had no idea they had dwarfism as
Yeah.
well.
Yep. Um, Hafthor Bjornson's. Oh, he used to. I don't know if he's still doing his video. His film guy. Um, his father is a dwarf. Yeah, it's they have a lot of it. It's very interesting. But their mythos is full of like dwarves and frost giants, so it's so funny to me to read the 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 Norse sagas.
Levi's still sends me emails. Never give them your email. I bought a bunch of stuff when I won money at a casino, and they've been sending me an email every day for 6 or 7 years.
I think there's an unsubscribe button usually at the bottom of the emails that you could just tap that button, and then you could say, bury yourself from this.
My phone needs help. I have 13,948 unread emails.
Yeah, you need some help.
I had it down like, and that's only, and I said this the other day, that's only within a couple of like a year, because a year and a half ago, I went and I erased everything. And I don't know
Yeah,
how many, like, that's how you know my information is being sold.
right.
I do
See?
pay for everything with a credit card too, because I'm a yup.
Right, so you get all the receipts from all the places who've got the Square readers now as their
Well,
POS.
I live in the cash world, but like no one really deals in cash anymore, so I swipe my card everywhere.
Right.
They even have card readers at the swap meet.
Yeah, why not? Because it's so easy to just use your Square reader.
Your cell phone, they have that whole attachment for an iPhone where you can hook up a card reader to it.
Yup. It works for any smartphone, or I've seen folks use their tablet devices.
Exactly. I've
Uh,
paid on a tablet or two.
yup. And Killer Ray says, and it's like everybody back was so malnourished that even if you had good genetics, you top out at 5'11", right? And that would still be a giant to me.
I think about that all the time. I see statistics about like during the Revolutionary War, the average British soldier was like 5'6", 5'7", or something like that.
Ugh, to be that tall. At
I'm
least I
gonna
can.
stay quiet on that.
I know.
You make me feel tall, and I live in a place where I'm one of the shortest people, and like I'm surrounded by giants.
I make everybody feel tall. And it just means I can wear most high heeled shoes and still not be average height, depending on how high the heels are.
Oh man, I will not do a streamathon again for a little bit. The old man sewing can't take it. My mic stand can't take it too. It's limp after
Right?
a week
It's
of.
don't use me so much. Oh, let's see here. Allie just got an ad sent to me from ad sent to me. Vancouver Pink Morse Toyota machine leader looks almost hot pink 180 Canadian in British Columbia. The color looks right. The price sounds terrible. All right, I read stories from people who've seen George Washington's bed and they were like, now how short was he? Yeah, the beds back in the day were pretty short. I feel so comfortable. Oh, that's good. Ellie says your 6 hour stream didn't feel that long. Well, that's
Oh,
always a
thank you.
plus.
I get delirious after 4. I get like weirdly delirious.
I'm not ready to pay for the upgrade to do more than 4 yet. So we're going to tap out at 4 again today.
I literally took a break and ate a piece of chicken and an orange online. That's how that.
Yeah, if I need food breaks, then I don't know. That feels too long for me.
It was. But I am gonna stream on tomorrow night for sure, because I gotta cry about back to school, and I like the Wednesday slot. I get more views and I've gained subscribers, and honestly, I have a ton of fabric, and we can do come sew with me all day. I have a million projects that I like half-ass didn't finish that I can finish now.
Right. Okay, Killer Ray, I'll try to make the longer streams again. I'm getting your wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I know that's to me. I pooped out this week.
Tomorrow I have to remember the disclaimer. I've been saying it like 45 minutes in.
Okay, well, I'll make sure I show up and I won't let you forget because you'll see me on there and they'll be like, oh, yeah, we got to do this shit.
It's because people get offended. You have to remind people, like, we're all human, we have opinions, and we live on planet Earth. I'm coming after your wig. Godless
Right.
sewing, godless sewing.
Yes, food breaks are good. Mukbang and sewing could be a new thing. That seems so messy. I like to no my no. There's no food around my sewing.
I spilled out when I spilled my coffee yesterday. I freaked out. I just didn't show it internally. I mean, externally. I freaked out internally, though. Like, because there's so much electronics up here.
Yeah, yeah. Hence a cup with a lid. Throwing a couple of pizzas together and then eating them. That would be funny. All right, on that note, because we've got something funny, don't wait till tomorrow when you can be fabulous today. And don't laugh at others unless you've laughed at yourself. You are all amazing. Have a great week, and I will see you around the around the webs. All right,
See you
bye.
tomorrow.
Oh man. All right, you need a break. Take care of your voice. And out. Yeah, I know.